Oh, are you
We're live,
you're
dude.
live now? Oh, I thought you were doing
You said
an
go.
opener.
See, we going, man. We're just
I guess we're doing a
don't even know
cold
what's going
opener.
on.
I guess we're
Yep.
doing a cold opener. Sorry, I'm just waiting for you to run the opener. I'm a little under the
PJ
weather,
sick.
so
PJ
yeah.
sick, and don't we have a guest tonight? Oh, he's already here. Damn it! You're flying, Walt.
Our special guest, Will Wright. What is up, my friend? How you doing tonight?
Hey, brothers, I'm doing well. I can't complain. Just enjoying this great Thursday night football game. The Browns and the Jets is kind of lackluster thus far, but hey, it's still football.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you were at the
Yeah.
game. You were at the past game, the Cardinals game.
No, I didn't go to the Cardinals game.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just all the other ones. No.
Yeah, just all the other ones.
Well, we are down at PJ tonight. PJ is sick, but Walt, let's just kick this shit off.
Right.
Guys, I want to get started by letting you guys know that we are brought to you by BetUS. Go check out BetUS.com, every sports bettor's favorite sports book. They have a bunch of great perks as well as exceptional service. Use the link in the description to get a 125% sign-up bonus. Place your sports bets with BetUS. You can use that link, and if you sign up and you deposit at least $50, you will be helping out the channel. So thank you. And normally PJ would say, if you do bet, please bet responsibly. What is up, guys? Merry belated Christmas. It's great to. It's God. It feels like I haven't been on the show in a month. You guys have done a bunch of shit without me, so it's great to be back. And it's great to have our guest tonight, Will. Will is a Bears connoisseur, just like we are. And you're part of the Barroom Network now, Will. And we met you at Aldo's house, and we had a great time. So we wanted to make sure that we had you on the show. So thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
Big win this past weekend, or did it? I mean, we still have a 1% chance of making the playoffs, guys. So I guess it was a big win, right?
Yeah, it was. I think if nothing else, just to build a winning culture. I know it's a lot of playoff scenarios that will have to play out in order for us to catch that 7th seed. And you're tracking those scenarios, right, Shorty?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And
I got it right here.
There we go. So it's still, the possibility is still there. I'm holding out. We'll finish the season 8-9. You know, I'm really kind of upset because if you factor in those 3 games that we blew, you know, we'll be looking at, as of right now, 9-6, sitting pretty. Right. I know we can't go back in the past, but man, I just
and Will, we had 5 people on the show before the season started, and we came up with this 11-6 prediction.
Okay.
And we were actually only really off on the first 4 games. If you look, we only collectively, you know, if 3 people chose a win or a loss, you know, we went that way because they overruled the other 2. So it's not updated, but the Browns was obviously a loss, and the Cardinals was a win, like we thought they would be. We actually thought we would lose that Vikings game, and we won it, so we kind of made up a game. So, you know, you're right. We could easily have been looking at 11-6 if it wasn't for just a couple of defensive meltdowns, right?
Correct. And with better coaching, I'm gonna say that one more time. With better coaching, We could have won that game in Chicago versus Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
We could have had a better opportunity to win that game against Tampa Bay because we were down 2017 and we ran a screen play 3 consecutive times out of the same formation. Like, it's like, man, I'm telling you, right? We had a 5th place schedule, and in the second year of a rebuild, gentlemen, we could be staring realistically at this point right here at about 11-4 going into this Falcons game.
Mm-hmm.
So people laugh when I said, 15-2. That was like the fan in me, but realistically, I said 12-5 because I looked at the schedule, and that's not including the Saints game that we could have, should have won.
Mm-hmm.
We had the momentum in that, and that was with Tyson, at the helm. So when you look at with better situational play calling, better personnel grouping, like, stop trying to get cute. What's working in the moment and in real time? What's working?
Mm-hmm.
And in every game that we've lost, that we've had momentum, the run game was working to some degree, and then we tried to get cute, and we either had a turnover or we had a missed third down opportunity, all because of wrong personnel groupings or wrong play calling or running a 3rd-and-1 sweep with Tyler Scott when the toss sweep had been working with Bayless Jones. Like, for us to be able to see this as fans, it baffles me that we've wasted a season where we had another number 1 pick, and we could have made the playoffs, which would have been great in the year 2 of a rebuild, not only for Poles, because he did all the player acquisition, but it would have looked good on Fluce's resume, where we're not sitting here saying Fluce has to go because he keeps making bad decisions as the CEO of the team.
There you go.
That is so well said, because they could be sitting here after going 3-14, making the playoffs, and still end up with the first pick in the draft. What a position that is to be in. And if we're in that position and we win those freaking 2-3 games, we're not even divided as a fan base like we are right now over the whole Justin Fields controversy, because we win those games. Wins are all that matter.
That's it.
And you win those games, everyone's like, yeah, let's just keep balling with Justin.
But when you lose, now you start pulling out the binos and looking at everything. The coaching, the player. Okay, well, guess what? We was up 2 scores against Detroit, and we blew the lead, and Justin in 28 seconds didn't lead us down the field for a game-time field goal, which realistically, he should have never been in that predicament in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Justin was running all over Detroit like he always does, and you go into a 4-minute offense, I'm not going to run a halfback dive 2 times and get us behind the sticks. Matter of fact, on the first down play, I'm running RPO option with Justin. It's been working the whole time. Give him an option to either keep it or get out on the edge and throw it.
Yeah.
All we needed to do is move the chain. Same thing against the Broncos. The Broncos gave up 70 points the week prior. We jumped out to a 28-7 lead, and what do? We automatically go. And all of us have known this since Little League. When you play prevent normally prevents you from what? Winning.
You know what pisses me off about that game? Justin would have had 24 straight completions if it wasn't for that Hail Mary before halftime. That's kind of like, get the Nagy thing ready, Walt, because I'm about to say the name Nagy.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
When he decides to kick like a 65-yarder with Cairo Santos after he was on like a 30 kick streak. Come on, man. Just kick the freaking ball.
That's it.
Go for the field goal.
That's it. Worst case is 31-31.
Yeah.
Worst case.
Yeah.
And the next play, what happens?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson throws a 47-yard bomb.
Yeah.
to the wide receiver. I forgot his name, and they already in position. Like the play calling, the coaching, and then when you watch these post game conferences, and you didn't know in that situation that DJ Moore was on the sideline in the red zone when you need to have your second best player on offense on the field. Like, if you're the CEO, you're the architect of the team. How, like that, and that let me know because I know Alan Williams had just gotten fired, so his focus was primarily on the defense. But that means that Getsy is running the offense, and we can sit here and say, "Well, hold up, look at this person. Look, why are we not going 12 personnel? It's been working all game. Give just an option. If he come out, bootleg, waggle, roll out, play action, just like against the Cardinals. You had Mercedes Lewis sitting in the back of the end zone for I counted at least 20 seconds wide open.
Here, let's look at it. This is actually my favorite play of the game. Let's see. I have to go over here so I can play it. There you go. Like this, I love just the faking that went on here in this play, and then oh man, that zip.
Did you see the zip on that pass?
Zip.
And as usual, Lucas Patrick, he's the first one. And I'm surprised they ain't called holding on him. Luckily, look, Lucas is on the ground. Did y'all see that?
Yep. Let's go back.
Look at Lucas. Look at 62.
You can flick through the game and 5 or 6 times a game almost.
At a minimum.
Yes.
But you want Justin to stay in the pocket and step up when the majority of his pressure comes from up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can win with Justin. I think he will continue to get better. He's never really been taught to be anticipatory. That's what people fail to realize. I followed Justin since high school, Georgia, Ohio State. He's always been a big game hunter. And that's what people he's been a pocket quarterback, but he's always had talent at every level. When you go to Ohio State, he had Olave, he had Garrett Williams, he had Jackson Jumpy. He had Jameson Williams. He's always had top 2, and all of those guys are either great route runners or they're burners. Mm-hmm. Other than DJ Moore, who's they had in Chicago? He had good rapport the first year with Darnell Mooney, but as y'all can see, because of the play calling now with Luke Getsy, the first option is DJ Moore. The second option is Cole Kmet. The third option is the running back. People not even paying attention to the route tree, the route concepts, the progressions. So Mooney is the fourth option. Mooney should be at a minimum the third. Mm-hmm. I understand Cole Kmet has to play a bigger role because of the money that he was paid. I get it. I get all that. But fourth option, they literally phased him out of the offense.
Why do you think that is? Because I've been trying to search for the answer myself. Do you think it is because of Kmet, or do you think it's because of the looming contract? Do you think it's just he doesn't fit?
From a business perspective, if realistically you don't want to pay this guy, you're not going to really showcase him in the offense. It's really common sense. The people that are being showcased in the offense are the ones that the DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, the two highest paid skill positions on offense. Mm-hmm. So you could look at the play calling, you can look at the offense, the personnel grouping, and that in itself will tell you the thought process that he's not being incorporated other than blocking, that he's not in the long-term plans.
Which he's not doing well.
Oh, no. The Cleveland game, why did we lose? 4th and 1. If Mooney makes that block, that corner comes up, man, you got 2 options. Justin can run, or he can just lob it. Even if he throws it to the sideline to DJ Moore, that's a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mooney makes that block, though, Will, and he picks up that first time down on the run around the end. 98 times out of 100, he's going to do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He saw it. He's like, oh, that's it. I got that first down. There's no sense taking the risk. I got it.
Correct. And then think about this, guys. Against Detroit, in Detroit, on that bomb, okay, everybody's focusing on DJ Moore. Why was it that Mooney running that route versus Tyler Scott? Like, we watched Mooney last year make one hand grabs against Minnesota, a grab against the Giants. So he understands how to run through the routes versus like Tyler Scott doesn't. He throttles down and then tries to speed. Like, no, because he like, I would rather you overrun the ball than underrun the. Like, you learn that in Pee Wee football as a wide receiver, especially if you're running a go route. So why would they put Tyler Scott, a rookie, in that position versus Darnell Mooney?
I don't know.
Like the moments, and I know it's a growing opportunity for Tyler, but in those moments, if I'm not going to DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, I need to be going to Darnell Mooney. So
I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. So either Luke Getsy is incompetent as an offensive play caller, or they really don't think too highly of Moon to put him in a position to complement Moore, to complement Cole Kmet in the offense as a third option. Because you're not going to have your running back running a fly route, even a wheel route.
See,
and the play was wide open. Like, that's what I'm saying. When Ryan Poles talks about the details, that's the details in which he speaks. Like that Cleveland game, Robert Tonyan, that was a touchdown. That was a 75-yard touchdown. Like, there's absolutely no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that drop Hail Mary for Darnell Mooney. I'm sorry.
That looked like a glitch in the Matrix. It was such a weird drop.
He did the same thing last year against Washington, but he caught it on the outside of the like plays like that. When you get the opportunity, you got to make them. I'm sorry. Like, hey, it's football. You got to make a play when your number's called. And other than DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, who on offense consistently makes a play other than Justin Fields?
Yes, you're damn right. I want to get in that in a second. Foster, let's get to the chat here. We haven't said hi to our chat yet tonight. Leonidas, thanks for joining us. DVD. Don Burr. Don Burr's hanging out with us tonight. Wow, we're privileged tonight with Don Burr in the house. Cliff Victoria.
Great to see you. His rounds, don't he?
Mark Kazak. Leo Factor. Thanks for joining us, guys. Plank. You guys are awesome.
Cliff.
Oh, by the way,
Cliff Victoria, Mark Kazak, Mr. Mayhem 69.
Yep. In the huddle.
PJ saying hi from his sick bed.
In the huddle, Chicago, CB Sickles. That is Walt's new channel that he has created. He's putting out some cool videos out there. So check that out. You want to plug that real quick, Walt?
I only got the one video there. I mean, they can go check it out if they really want to.
Yeah, you'll be.
I would enjoy it. I have a Montez Sweat coming up too.
Exactly.
I just got to put it together now.
Shameless plug for your channel.
That was shameful. No, I'm kidding. James Ford just stopped in here.
James, thanks for joining us tonight. There's a couple things here. Leonidas is saying Fields is a gigantic part of the problem, and I on this channel I have, as I like to call it, pontificated a lot. I've pontificated a lot. I've played devil's advocate to every situation. I try to look at both sides of every equation, and just to make sure I'm coming up with a level-headed frame of thought. And so I've gone down the Caleb Williams avenue. I've gone down the is Justin Fields good enough avenue. Is it the Luke Getsy is the problem avenue? And there's just so many different things I've come up with, and the most recent one is I listen. I don't really follow college football much, and I didn't realize that players actually sit out fucking bowl games, which to me is a travesty. If your team made it to a bowl game and you are sitting out because of draft capital or whatever, to me as a fan, that's letting your team down. Like, to me, as someone who played that team sport, albeit in high school, it's a team sport. So to sit out a game a bowl game, to me, is just wrong. And for that reason, I have completely even removed the equation of Caleb Williams as a Chicago Bear from my head, because I don't want that guy sitting out a game because his toe hurts and it's too cold out. Because that's the kind of person to me that sits out a big game like that you have built yourself up to with your team, and you sit it out. So, well, Drake, every one of them, Leonidas, to me, that's bullshit. And I'd like to get your guys' take on this once I'm done with my little mini rant here. But for that, and with the way that this team has played, and they've rallied around Justin, and Justin is playing his ass off. And the way that he's just able to move around and create plays out of nothing. Does he see every open guy down the field? No. Would you? Are you saying that you're so much better as an armchair quarterback that you're going to see that guy open when you're running to your left? I mean, even though,
in your face.
Yeah, and people are complaining that DJ Moore was wide open when he threw it to Kmet, and Kmet still caught it for 35 yards. So, yes, if you end up with the first pick in this draft, you got to roll with Justin, man. You got to trade that pick. And I'd like to know what you guys think based on. First off, I'd like to start with you, Foster. What do you think about Caleb Williams or any other player, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr. sitting out their bowl games because of their draft stock?
Here, it's a team game, man. You're not just out there for yourself. You're out there for your teammates also. There's what, 90, 100 guys, 130 guys on some of these college rosters. You can look at it this way. I'm giving somebody else an opportunity. What did that dude throw last night? Like 6 touchdowns or something? So I mean, that was great for him. But you're out there for the rest of your teammates because you can possibly help them to improve their own draft stock. I want to help my teammates. Unless I'm injured or I'm going to be a detriment to the team, that's how I wouldn't want to be on the field. All right, guys, go have a great game. I'm going to stand here. I'll be with you guys 100%. So that's how I look at that. That's my take on it.
If I can just add to that, Justin Fields played in his bowl game and got his ribs broken and played the best game of his fucking career.
Yep.
Still to this day. So,
as far as what was we were talking about, Caleb Williams? No, man.
Sitting out, Drake May sitting out.
But then you talk. I gave you my take on what I think of a college player that they should play if they're healthy and everything's right. They should play not only for them, for their teammates, for the fans. Mm-hmm. They pay to watch this stuff. It's like PJ paid all that money to go see Richardson with the Colts, and he gets there and they don't even play him at all. And I understand that was preseason. That's a little different. But this is a bowl game. He's like, I already got my spot.
And they didn't play Justin.
To play anymore. What?
Yeah. He went to see Justin, and they didn't play Justin.
Oh, is that what? I thought he wanted to see Rich. Oh, I don't remember. But you get the idea. He specifically bought tickets to that game to go see. He wanted to see both of them, and I don't think.
Right. They didn't play either of them, but he wanted to see Justin.
Right. Yeah. So he got burned out of both of them. You're right. Yeah. But the other thing was, where I stand on this, man. I want to trade that pick down and turn it over. I want 2 picks next year, and I want to pick up as much draft capital because I've said this last week. I've been saying it for a few weeks, guys. We're not 3 or 4 players away. We need 10 more guys on this team. We don't have the greatest depth. I said it last week, man. We could use 2 more guards and two more centers. Because who's the? I mean, I don't even have to go on with my ramble there. Right. But as far as Justin's concerned, man, I was reading all the stuff from Leonidas. If you want to put it up, he's basically saying that Fields is a big part of this problem with the team. Fields makes mistakes like every other quarterback. I sat and watched Jimmy Garoppolo miss Jacoby Myers wide open for 3 touchdowns in one game because he's got guys coming at him in his face. And you can't, if you've ever played quarterback, I played it really little. And as a younger man, that's a damn difficult position, man. I mean, it's insane, all the things that you got to be aware of at one time. Mm-hmm. So that makes it difficult. And then from the beginning, there's been mistakes. Getsy. I mean, we just will. Excellent take on Getsy. I'm with you, man. There's too many issues there. But throughout the season, and this has gotten a little better as time has gone on, there's been guys some of the running backs running in the wrong lane. receivers not running the right route. Getsy's spacing on some of these pass plays. Why do you force Fields to throw into a window where there's 3 receivers and 5 defenders? You've just made it harder on the guy. So there's too many variables, and with Fields, we're seeing progression, man. And if you give this guy another season, another 10 games, and I just believe that we're going to see more of what Lamar has become, where he can do either, man. He can sit there in the pocket and pass it. He can make time. That game 2 weeks ago, Lamar was taking 8, 10. I think one of his pass plays before he threw the ball, it was 10.3 seconds. I mean, they timed it. They had the clock on it. And everybody, like the other night, I was saying this last night on it with a couple of people in a chat, and they're like, well, that was planned. I'm like, do you think that was planned for Lamar Jackson to avoid 2 sacks and then flip the ball down the field for 30 yards? You're telling me that was planned?
Right.
No.
Right.
I'm just saying, I got to stick with Justin, man. There's too much there. And Caleb Williams and Drake May, they may look great in college and everything, but what is it? Like 2 first-round quarterback picks out of like 8 in the last 23 years. There's only 2 guys who've been successful being drafted at number 1, and that's the Manning brothers, because they both won Super Bowls. Nobody else can say that.
And now they're making money in college, so their head's getting bigger when they're in college. It's already inflated.
That was the other thing, and I want to touch on all this with you guys because nobody brought this up. They keep bitching about, oh, well, then you got to sign Fields to a $200 million contract. And I'm like, maybe you do in 2 years, because you can lock him and Bajan up for the next 2 seasons for, I believe, under $33 million with both their contracts. You're not going to get 2 quarterbacks anywhere that at least can win you games for $33 million, not 1, 2. And then secondly, if he's coming out as the first draft pick, what's his pay the first year? Isn't it $7 million? Or is that what he's going to make next year just on endorsements?
Well, who?
I know the first round pick gets a nice chunk of change. So
the first couple of years aren't that much, though. It's the back end years.
Okay.
Isn't it?
I'm looking at the first few picks, and I believe it's way different 1 through 5 than when you get to 6 through 20.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, like, if Justin's costing $6 million, what would we be paying Caleb Williams next year, and then to set the program back a year, maybe 2 years, because we've got to develop a new quarterback in the system? I don't know. I'm going to shut up because I want to hear what you guys got to say. I could go on, but I will not sit here all night because I will.
What's your thoughts on college players sitting out bowl games for draft capital or for the draft status, Walt?
Oh, good. We're back on topic now. Great. No, you all made valid points on there. Like you were saying, Jordy, you got to play for the team, which is true. And, people are spending money on these tickets to come see you. But I mean, college is a little different than pro football. A lot of these guys support the school diehard. Either it's their alma mater or it's a local school, and they're going to go watch the school succeed. It's not just any one player. You see that more so in the NFL, that people come to see one player like we had with PJ. I was to the point where I was kind of upset. Guys were taking bowl games off, but at the same time, I look at it as they do give an option to another player who may be around after they're gone to better his position on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And get to be seen on the national stage, where maybe if he was there, they don't. So, I can see both sides of it.
Okay.
I don't see it as necessarily a bad thing, though. And like you said, you have the incidents where guys like Justin Fields broke his rib. I mean, he played a great game, but still, you could have avoided that whole situation in its entirety.
Yeah, but it really like is the game everyone will remember him for eternity. Right. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's unfortunate because I think with all these guys sitting out, it's really devaluing the whole playoff system, because if a lot of these guys are top 10, 15 first round draft picks, more than likely, even though a lot of them have insurance taken out, they're going to sit out because they don't want to risk an injury in this bowl game, which is going to derail their professional opportunity or their professional, draft status. So, it sucks for college football because a lot of people that are alumni and fans, they come from all over the country. And when you spend the money on hotels and flights or driving, like it sucks. Like you go to like Florida State, like Jared Verse, he's sitting out. Trey Benson, he's sitting out. Keon Coleman, he's sitting out. Between the people that's sitting out and the people that sit in the transfer portal, like the Florida State versus Georgia game, like realistically, it's going to be like a summertime JV scrimmage. So when you look from that perspective, like, because I follow Florida State, but I wouldn't go to their game now, seeing Brock Bowers. He's not like, when you look at both sides, like why would you want to go support their product and spend all that money when realistically you're not going to see the premier players that led both universities to that point, even though I still think Florida State got shafted because they wanted Alabama to be, because Alabama does what? They draw a much bigger payday. And they can say Jordan Travis, his injury played a role in that. But last time I checked, football is a team sport, and Florida State has one of the top defenses in college football. So, when you just look at I don't say politics, I say politics of what's going on in college football and in somewhat in the NFL, you have to be really careful because, we get so caught up into the overall product and we don't look at what's going on behind the scene to really extort and exploit us for a lot of money, but we're not getting any return on investment on the product.
Mm-hmm. That's well said. I want to shift gears now to Getsy, because one of my fears is I don't want Justin. My assumption at this point is that Flus. I mean, let's look at it realistically. Flus has won twice as many games as he did last year. Have they all been? Has the defense lost some games that he was coordinating? Yes, but is he the head coach and is he doing two jobs? Yes. Has he hired Phil Snow to help him? Yes. Has Phil Snow done a good job helping him? I would say the progressive or the overall consensus answer would be yes. So considering what's been on his plate for Flus, and considering Getsy himself was just a quarterback coach, and he himself has been learning, on the go himself, just like Flus as a head coach, also as a defensive coordinator, doing both at the same time. So I'm not sure that I really want Justin to learn a new offense next year. Has there been enough seen? Because this last game, I've noticed the plays, because I was kind of pounding the table for where are the coaching tree plays? Getsy hasn't really had any coaching tree plays that we've recognized from the Rams, where, the Packers head coach came from. We haven't recognized very many of the plays from the Packers offense. They seem to be just his own version of it. So I'm wondering if I'm seeing, progressively a little bit more and more some of these plays that I've been kind of pounding the table for. And I think we saw some of them in this past game. And there was more under center that I'm used to seeing, which I think we all like to see. So I'm just wondering, do we give up on Getsy, or is there enough? Obviously, there's 2 games left, but let's say we win those games. Let's just say that somehow we do make the playoffs. Let's not even go there, because that's way too much projection. But I'm just wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on actually having Justin Fields start over with a new offensive coordinator, as opposed to riding it out another year with Getsy, year 3? Let's see what they can do with 303 of the offense.
No. Sorry. Enough. All you got to say to this is, there you go.
All I'm gonna say is, look, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Shane Day, line 1, Greg Roman, line 2. Let's go.
Yeah, Greg Roman will be nice.
Let's go.
But do you really want Justin learning a new offense again?
Well, that's why I said Shane Day and Greg Roman, because now you got two people. One, it's not just the offense. Like, look at Justin's footwork. Go back and look year one, and go back and look now. Like, Getsy has literally screwed up Justin's footwork. And Andrew Janocko, you're the quarterback coach. Like, who has Andrew Janocko developed? I'm gonna sit here and wait. I'll wait. Who has Janocko developed as a quarterback in the NFL? Because I'm not seeing it. Like, in year 3, we shouldn't be seeing sloppy footwork, because the footwork on a 3-step, 5-step, 7-step, all, like, people saying he missing throws, and like, again, so if your footwork is messed up, even if Mooney or Komet is running wide open down the seam, unless you throw it, off, like, if your footwork is not synchronized with the play, with 3-step, 5-step, 7-step, with the route concept, that's an issue in itself, and it shouldn't be to this point in year 3, week 17, where I'm seeing sloppy footwork. I'm just like when I noticed that, one thing I can say about Bajan, his drop back is clean.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see with Justin's drop. I want to see a nice, clean drop back. So when you hit that back foot and that first progression or is not open, guess what? Bam. You can take off.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're stumbling, trying to regain your posture in the pocket, and then now that deters the rhythm of your wide receiver. Like, it's all intertwined, and that's why it looks so jumbled up a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not consistent. And I know Getsy, he's not publicly going to go out there and say that, okay, Justin, his footwork is jacked up, his pocket presence is not where it needs to be, because ultimately that becomes an indictment on him and on Andrew Janocko, because that shows your inability to ineffectively develop. Like you got a Lamborghini, but you treat it like it's a Ford Fusion.
Yeah.
Because we got in the tape, like Justin's delivery, patting the ball and lack of anticipation. Like, if you go back and watch him at Ohio State, Georgia, the 707, when he beat down Trevor Lawrence, when he was like the number 1 quarterback in that camp. When you go back and look at all that, you can see, like, 1, 2, 3, ball out, boom, the zip, everything, the timing, the accuracy, all of that. So from Matt Nagy, lame duck coaching staff, and Bill Lazor, he did an adequate job. And then now you go to Getsy. Getsy wants to go from left foot to right foot first. Like, you're trying to turn him into Aaron Rodgers. Well, Justin is not Aaron Rodgers. Like, we all know Aaron Rodgers was a timing guy in that West Coast offense. 1, 2, 3, ball out. Mm-hmm. Then when he did manipulate the pocket, he did it to do what? To get a big play down the field, not to run. Like, Justin is 88 out the gate. He ain't about to play around. Why? Because more than likely you get pressure right up the middle. He almost has PTSD at this point. So first of all, we got to solidify. I don't care who the quarterback is, but since we all rolling with Justin, you got to solidify that interior. We got to make sure we get some depth, because as you can see, the last 2-3 years, injuries have derailed us especially on the interior side. It's unfortunate that Braxton Jones got hurt this year with the stinger in his neck, but we need 3, at a minimum, 3 solid interior linemen, with 2 of those being center guard capability, and we need a swing tackle, because Larry Bourne, your years of service, God bless you, but it's time for you to move on to greener pastures.
Yeah. I like everything you said there because we all, I mean, I know I saw it. I was getting in trouble with Walt here on the channel for my love of those things that you were talking about with Tyson Bagent, just his rhythm and timing in the offense, his footwork, the ball coming out on time. He's thrown it to 7 different receivers, you know. Uh, but I was wondering if it's because he was trying so hard to turn him into Aaron Rodgers that he was overthinking, right? And it seems like the same thing happened last year, and then they just kind of got away from that, and then they started working to his strengths, and next thing you know, he's almost breaking a rushing record. And then this season kind of starts off slow, and now it's almost like since the injury, he has been working, I think, better within the offense. The footwork is still not there, but the ball has been coming out quicker. That's for sure. Would you agree with that?
On some plays, I saw one pass last week to Cole Kmet on the out route. You know, if the footwork would have been cleaner, and again, anticipating that Cole is going to break out, ball should have been out. It gave the safety, and of course, the safety, he wasn't threatened by Cole's speed. So, in order to compensate for the lack of Cole's speed, the timing has to be where, okay, 5 yards, ball is already out before Cole is breaking. But, you know, with Cole, you have to be careful because he tried to do that against the Broncos and it ended up in an interception. You know, whereas, you know, us, at a minimum, we know how to play the position to at least use your body as a shield to create an incomplete pass. But, you know, it's like Cole sometimes allow these smaller DBs to box him out, and he doesn't really fight. He doesn't fight for the ball the way, if I'm a quarterback, for me to trust to throw it to a spot and pray that he's there with anticipation and then not get picked off and going the other way for a pick six. So it's trust, you know, it's anticipation. You gotta like when people are just saying Justin, you gotta look at and understand the full gamut of what Justin's being asked to do. And you saw the frustration this past game with Gesty, whether it was under center or pistol, because like with the personnel, the play calling, everything has to synchronize. And, you know, I think we all can agree we don't want to see no more tight end sneaks. Justin is 6'4", 230. At a minimum, we should be seeing tush push. Like we should have a heavy package, which we really haven't seen this year. We do more 3rd and 1 sweeps to Trent Taylor or Tyler Scott. And here, like, why we just can't line up and go downhill and punch them in the mouth? Like, it's like we don't have that in our play calling, or maybe Gessie doesn't trust the offensive line to get the movement to get 1 yard. Or like 4 or 5 games we could have won. If you go back and look, it was a time and space in those games where, because we didn't have like a tush push or a brotherly shove like the Eagles, like we didn't get the necessary movement, or we ended up running a play that lost 2 or 3 yards, and you know that ended up being the pivotal play in the game that cost us a win. So when people just say Justin, like, and that's why I say what we're doing now, you know, the DIY, the media at our level now, I think is great, because I think long term we're going to usurp the national pundits like, you know, First Take and FS1 speak, because those guys realistically aren't watching what we're watching. You know what I'm saying? They looking at, oh, Justin's 8-26. No one's saying, oh, the defense gave up 31 points.
Right.
Or Bob Tunyon on that wham block. Go look last week on the wham block when Roschon Johnson had the ball on 3rd and 1, getting ready to run up the middle. Bob Tunyon said, guess what? I don't want none of that action. And he clearly whiffed on the wham block. And what happened? Roschon got stuffed. So that's what I'm saying. Like, one, Luke has to know his personnel, their strengths and their weaknesses. So Cole Kmet wasn't in the game. Why? Because he was hurt. He had the thigh bruise. So you got Tunyon, who is not a downhill blocker in the fullback. Why you ain't got Corey Blasingame? Like stop being every time he's tried to be the smartest person in the room, it's been a catastrophe.
I know. He's got the Nagy syndrome going on.
Yes. And that's why I say we need somebody like the reason why I say Roman would be a good addition, because y'all got to understand too, all the top tier offensive coordinators are off the market. And the ones that are coming right now, they're going to want to get paid, like point blank period. Either they're looking for head coaching jobs. So either you go get someone out of college or you get someone like because if you bring in Jim Harbaugh as a head coach, he's going to want to bring his entire staff. That's why I know that Jim Harbaugh is not coming. Like it's not happening. Like that's not a move that the McCaskey would ever consider making, because Harbaugh's going to come in. He's going to want to bring his own staff. He's going to probably want a percentage of the organization. Like he's going to have some outlandish requirements that I know. The Chargers, the Spanos, they might meet those requirements, but the McCaskies, more than not, it's not going to happen.
At the expense of 2 or 3 Super Bowl wins with the new stadium, I mean, wouldn't you want to give him anything he wants?
Well,
No.
his pet, like, to a degree, yeah. But to a degree, like, you don't want to give up too much power either, because, they don't want to have something that becomes toxic where you can't control it either.
True.
Because, you see what's going on in Ann Arbor. Like Harbaugh realistically is becoming a second tier Nick Saban.
Or like the Bill Belichick of college coaches.
Correct. But the thing is, I know with Harbaugh, the culture, just like with Mike Tomlin, we'll have an actual culture where it won't be all this tongue in cheek. It won't be all this not knowing or understanding what's going on a day-to-day basis, and the cloak and dagger and listen to someone, which, when you hear Flu speaks, I get it. He wants to protect his players and he wants to protect himself, but like, we're pretty intelligent. We can kind of read between the lines, and guess what? If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, more than likely it's a what? It's a duck.
Mm-hmm.
And when you had not one, but 2 personnel, get cited for, conduct unbecoming, that's under your watch. When you got an offensive coordinator that has shown the inability to conform to his personnel and put his quarterback in the best position consistently to win. Now, I tell you time, if Justin doesn't execute, I'm the first one, like that interception after the 39-yard run, I'm like, WTF, over. But again, if I'm the OC, guess what I'm going to call? I'm going to do a toss. I'm going to have Bayless in there, run a toss sweep, or run a wham with Herbert, at least the next 2 plays. Why? 1, because I want Justin to get his breath. But 2, we was running down their throat the entire 60 minutes.
Yes, we were.
We do that.
The rushing yard.
So much.
Like everybody on the Cardinals, if you watch it, it was a business decision. Like, Justin realistically could have scored on that run. I don't know why he slid, because Tyler Scott threw a good block, and it was one person coming from the left. He wasn't trying to tackle Justin. He didn't want to seem like he was loafing.
Right.
Justin beats him anyways.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't even have the aim.
Yeah,
I get it. Justin, he didn't want to take an unnecessary hit. But me personally, I don't know. Like I would have went on and took it to the house, me personally. And that's what we've been clamoring for all year. So if you take that away, now we gotta focus. And I know I hear a lot of people saying, well, when you do rollouts and waggles and boots, it takes away half of the field. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that might have some validity to it. But hell, when he's doing straight drop back, nobody's open.
39 total carries for 250 yards for a team average of 6.4 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. Every single person that touched the ball in the running game had 4 yards per carry or more. So, yeah.
Unreal.
Man, it just you could do that all day long and just open up whatever you want.
I want to. Bearsky shared a video that he made with us. Kind of, I think it says this is the comparison. I know we're off subject now, but the comparison I think in the footwork or what we were talking about between Bagent and Fields.
Yeah, it's the drop off should have been bigger.
Coaches are so much easier to fire and make.
There we go. Should I play the volume?
Because we've seen players getting better because they're young men, right? They're 22, 23, 24 years old. Sometimes it just takes the right guy to teach you something, and then you pick up on something new, and now you're really, really good at football. Directly to answer is, I think if you go in with the same coaching staff and the same quarterback, I think you're just asking for. That'll remind me of the last Matt Nagy year, of this just like disjointed, hot mess where no one communicates well and nobody knows how to be on the same page. I think if you go into next year with the same staff and just new draft picks, I expect nothing different. I don't care how good your draft picks are. I think you're a 7 or 8 win team.
So you're saying fire the staff. Thanks, Bearsky. So that does kind of actually go along with what you're saying. You're saying Tomlin, right? Will?
Oh, did I say Tomlin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would definitely either Tomlin or Harbaugh. Like if I'm a listen, like I'm not gonna give up. With Tomlin, I'm sure to be something similar to like Sean Payton. They'll want draft capital and things of that magnitude. So, as far as that, like other than like a fifth or something like that, I'm not giving up no high premium draft choices. You already got a second that was a first in the Chase Claypool. You're not gonna stiff me again. But at the end of the day, like, realistically, and then I think as well, it has the game passed Tomlin by because, I think the last time he won, 2010? And now he's had issues with Claypool, with Deontay Johnson, with George Pickens. Like all his skill guys, like it's been a lot of problems. So I'm looking at that. Has the game transitioned and moved past him? But again, we know what we're getting. It's going to be candid. It's going to be like straight in your face. This is what's going to happen. It's my way or the highway. It's not going to be, Claypool is upset because the first game against the Packers, he didn't get to be, his name wasn't originally scheduled to be called out as a starter. So he was upset about that. Like what? So instead of just saying, get your ass out there, we placate to him and say, okay, well, we'll add your name so they can call you out on the PA so you can feel important. What?
Right.
What?
Burn it.
Like, no, get your ass on the sideline. I deactivate you right now before we even go out there. That's my mindset as a coach. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and placate to you because at the end of the day, if you go back and watch the Green Bay game, he was a part of the problem. Missing blocks, missing like
routes,
lining. Like he really was an issue in those first 4 games, and it was just by coincidence. It was ironic. Once we got rid of him, guess what? On the field, the play on the field picked up. The details picked up. Like he's a 6'4" specimen. And I'm like, you should be out there just throwing people all over the field. And I'm like, you missing blocks. You letting a 5'9", 170 corner box you. Like, nah. Like you'd rather go back to France and be modeling and get on the runway than get out here and be physical and inflict your will. And
right.
Like, no.
Right.
So yeah, it's like, look, right now we're in a great position to build out this team. I'm talking about depth and, oh, by the way, get more draft capital for 25, 26. And whoever we trading with, we got to have a player too. So everything works in our favor. Like, we got to play this smart. Like everybody keeps saying, because there's no guarantee that Drake May's going to be a superstar. There's no guarantee Caleb Williams going to be a superstar. Michael Penix, Bo Nix. Like, man, we can go get Sam Hartman in the 7th round. And he might end up being better than those guys if he has the proper coaching.
Mm-hmm. And you look at to the Tomlin thing, what happens? He hasn't really won or been doing as well when the Hall of Fame quarterback retires, right?
Correct.
And most of the coaches, you look at them, they all the great ones have a great quarterback. But if you were to get a Tomlin, what could he do with the coaching staff that he hires around him to get the best out of a quarterback with the skill set of Justin Fields? I just wonder what the draft capital would be.
For Tomlin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they gonna want, man, at a minimum probably a first and a third, I would say.
Yeah.
You'd have to be rolling in draft picks to give up a draft pick for a head coach.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And I don't see
look at them
doing that. Do you guys though? Do you see them trading picks away?
I don't see that with a telescope at all.
Yeah. And then to get back to Harbaugh real quick, I haven't said anything on it because my thing is, how long is he going to be here? Because he's going to wear out his welcome in 4 or 5 seasons. Short term. Harbaugh. He does it. He does it everywhere. I'm just saying. It doesn't mean that I'm right. Even just the appearance, because it's look what happened in San Francisco. I don't know. And then all the stuff that's going on in Detroit, at Michigan.
If it's his dream job, though, to be the Bears head coach, and let's just say he wins us a Super Bowl or 2, we get the new stadium built, we win a Super Bowl in that, even just one Super Bowl, he would become the new Mike Ditka of the town, and he could essentially just retire from football as a Bears head coach in 5 or 10 years, and then just move up into the front office. And be like
you're saying 5 or 10 years. I'm a Harbaugh fan, dude. But I see him burning bridges because sometimes he's over the top. And you know what? I should even take that back. Maybe I'm off there because that's as you age, things change as you age, man. You learn things. You don't act the same way.
Right.
So I'm sure he's not. I would believe, or I would think, that he's not the same guy that he was at Stanford or at he's not the exact same person he was at Stanford or at San Francisco. So maybe I'm off base there.
He learns from his mistakes.
I don't see him giving up any draft capital for Tomlin because we talked about how that's Pohl said. I'm going to build this team through the draft. Could take 3 or 4 years. I'm going to build this team through the draft. So I don't see him giving that up.
And
the other thing you said, Will, real quick, and I'll shut up. I want to hear that. Is I don't see the McCaskies bringing him back to Chicago. I could be wrong. I said that when we first started talking about him. I think there's a problem there. And then with Warren being the president, their little flashes over a short period of time there when he was the head of the Big Ten. So there's multiple reasons that I don't see that. That's all. I didn't mean to cut you off, Will.
Oh no, you good. Like I said, Flus is a good hire that is not going to pose any problems. He's not going to be like Ditka, storming in to Hallis Hall, ready to light a fire. More than likely, he's going to sit back. He's going to listen to what's being disseminated from the top up, top down. And like I said, like poses, he said it's going to be at a minimum 3-year rebuild. We're in year 2. He got a 6-year contract. So at the end of the day, I don't see, unless the bottom falls out of this thing, I don't see Pose not fulfilling not only the 3-year rebuild, but the next 3 with all of the capital and free agent acquisitions that he's brought in and getting ready to bring in. Unless there's a complete bottom out, I don't foresee, because everybody keeps saying, he's a GM, he wants his own quarterback. But like he said, the quarterback is going to have to blow me away. Well, hell, the quarterback for USC last night, if that's the case, based off the system that Lincoln Riley run, he blew us all away. 6 touchdowns. Like that. But at the end of the day, I'm also look at when Caleb Williams played Notre Dame, he shriveled up. When Drake May played West Virginia, he shriveled up. Yeah. Like I'm looking at all that at the end of the day. So is that better than what I already have? And if I know, which they know, they've evaluated, they've assessed. Okay, Caleb Williams fumbles a lot. Drake Williams, he does some risky things as well. If Justin can stop the turnovers and we get him the necessary, because we want Justin to be a force multiplier, just like Montez Sweat. Because y'all see now, Justin Jones got 4.5 sacks, and prior to Sweat coming there, I think he might have had a half a sack. But see, people don't watch. Sweat will go in, take up 2-3 blockers, and shit, you got Jones a straight unabated pass to the quarter. Like, we can just lay on the quarterback, he gonna fall down, and that's a sack. Okay, Sweat is a multiplier. That's the same thing we want with Justin. So if he doesn't have nobody other than Cole Kmet and DJ Moore that's consistently catching the ball, well, of course he's gonna have to run. Like, people are not looking at that. You know, we can sit here and be like, oh, receivers open all over the place. But when you look at, well, what is the OC doing to make the route? We don't see no crossing patterns. We don't see no slants. We see a lot of screens, though. We see a lot of that. But it's not going vertical. It's horizontal. We don't have the personnel to block that. So that's why you see a lot of 2nd and 10, 2nd and 12. We behind the sticks. And after that first game think about this, guys. After that first game with Bajan, the Chargers came in and said, let me watch this film. And what they do, they played cover 1 and cover 3. They shut down the flat. They said, we're going to force Bajan to throw the ball down the field and what happened. He had damn near 5 interceptions. And against the Saints, same thing. Even though we came out and we punched the Saints in the mouth, and that should have been a win for us, what happened? They ran cover 1 and cover 3, and they put the clamps on Bajan once again. And then everybody said, well, we went 2-2. So you telling me Justin couldn't have beat the Panthers or Justin couldn't have beat the Raiders? Like, I'm like, stop. Hey, guys, stop the cap. Let's stop playing these games. Let's look at the reality of what's going on, what happened, based off of, and Poe said it, and he's right. We were at about 70% complete. And when you look at the offense now, we still need a center. We need a left tackle, whether you want to say Braxton Jones is a starting left tackle or not. Worst case, he's a swing. We need a wide receiver too. We need another tight end. We need a running back. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in Saquon Barkley on a 3-year, $30 million deal. Matter of fact, let's use the money for Unique and allocate that toward Saquon next year, because the running back department in the draft is very weak.
Yeah.
Because on defense, what do we need, guys? We need a 3-tech and another edge rusher, and that project's complete. And we can get a free safety too. But I want a free safety that's going. Can I get one that's a combination of a ball hawk and come in and lay a little lumber and not be like, oh Matador, like no,
Right? He's trying to dance with him.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to see that. That's why I say, when I look at different options of trades, man, like if you look at like the Redskins or the Commanders, we can snag over Jonathan Allen. If you look at the Giants, if they want to trade with us, we can get Kayvon Thibodeau. The Patriots, we can get Christian Barmore. Hell, even if the Cardinals say, well, I want to come up to number 1, look, throw in Buda Baker, but let me get them 2 firsts, a second, and then a 2025 first too. Like I'm busting you upside the head as far as what I want to return to even get on the telephone and start talking.
Drop the mic. And he's done. He says, Well, that's a great show. Thanks for all that, Will. You made excellent points, and you guys have a great night.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hey, y'all get ready. It's go between now and April. And I know y'all planning on coming to Detroit, right?
What?
I said, I know you planning on coming to Detroit, right?
To Detroit for what?
That's where the draft at.
Oh.
It's close enough.
Shit,
We were talking about trying to do the Senior Bowl prior to that. So
yeah.
I don't know what we're doing.
The Senior Bowl is closer to me. I'm near Atlanta.
Oh, well, that's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Although Michigan is a good place for some legal activities there.
Yeah. I saw that when I was up there in Detroit the last time. I said, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah, did you go to? You went to the last game, the second Detroit game, or the first one? I don't remember.
I went to the one in Detroit at Ford Field.
Yeah, but that's right.
And as you can see, they've already told their ticket holders for next year, we're raising the prices 85%. Like those tickets were like $500.
Wow.
And now you're talking about raising them 85. Like they got a list of people ready if you decline, because Detroit, they haven't won since what, for 30 years?
They haven't won a championship since 1957.
That's what I'm saying. So I was meeting people that was just salivating that they were relevant again. Like that, but that's the nostalgia like I want us to have. Mm-hmm. I'm tired. Like I want us to be, and that's what I'm saying. This draft with the capital and the free agency cap space, this right here will make us relevant over the next. It's like the 80s when we could have won like 4 or 5 championships, like 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. Like we could have been dominant if we'd had a quarterback.
We did have a quarterback, but that quarterback, if he could have stayed healthy.
Well, if we had the rules that are in place today, he probably would have stayed much healthier.
Oh yeah.
And if you take out the asshole in Green Bay, but that's gone.
Yeah, Charles Martin, I'm still looking for him.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Little scholar in the States looking for him, man. He was in Michigan, Atlanta. I'm making it up,
man. Man, that play.
Well, the Browns over here skull drilling the Jets.
Why are they? What's the score?
34-17.
Oh
yeah.
So guess what? The Jets need a quarterback because, like, okay, Rodgers is coming back, but they've already said they're gonna cut Zach. So they need someone in the groom. Like it's at least 18. And I know people say, well, the Cardinals don't need a quarterback. Well, we would have thought the Broncos were gonna need one either.
Yeah, there's a list. There's a
nice
little list.
Look, some of these owners got some deep pockets. Like they'll eat and take that cap hit. The Broncos doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take that cap hit. But we know for sure that Washington will be going after a quarterback. Why? Because they're gonna have a new head coach, and they're on a new ownership group. So the first thing that new ownership group, look, we just spent $6 billion to Daniel Snyder. So we need somebody that's gonna come in and put ass cheeks in the seats. We got to start recouping that money ASAP.
Yeah.
So whatever we got to do, I'm telling you, Washington should be number one on our list to make that phone call. Because I know they're ready to give up whatever they need to get Caleb Williams.
It's going to be a haul. It's going to be the type of thing that the Cowboys built with all that draft capital.
Herschel Walker trade.
Yep. I mean, 2 years in a row. God, look, please.
And you can make it 3.
Yeah.
You could make it 3. You really could, man.
You could trade it to the right team.
Unless you're at that certain point. Well, then I was talking before. I was like, this coming draft might have been the time to take the shot, but I don't think it is. We don't have enough pieces. that offensive line. We need offensive linemen and wide receivers. And like you mentioned, Will, who do we got? Who signed for next year as a running back? Herbert's on the last year of his deal. We got Roshan's rookie contract. Foreman's a free agent. Who's the guy we got from Seattle?
Travis Homer.
Right? Was that a 1 year or 2 year deal? I don't remember anymore because I haven't even. You don't
It's
see
a
the guy.
2 year, but he's strictly special team.
Right.
So no one. Look, if you put Saquon Barkley back there with Justin, oh my God.
Yeah. And we can spend money this year, especially if we trade back and pick up a bunch of rookies, 3 or 4 rookie contracts of guys, 4 or 5 guys are going to be starters.
And then guess what? Next year, Shadur Sanders is coming out. Like the next 2 years, you still got some quality quarterbacks coming out. If Justin doesn't pan out, man, look, build a team like the 49ers, like the Ravens. Build your team right now and build depth as well. Because guess what?
Goes back to what Leo said earlier.
Yeah, $6 million. That's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then look, T. Higgins, he gonna be because the Bengals ain't paying Burrow, Chase, Tyler Boyd, and Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
And Higgins.
Yeah, I mean, you add the free agents that we can get, just by the attraction of a Justin Fields type player, and all the draft capital that we're gonna have. There's this. Damn it! If we don't get 11 wins next year, right?
Have you seen the schedule for next year?
I haven't seen it, but I know who they're playing. Who are they playing? What division in the AFC are they playing? I forget.
Man, they play the AFC South.
The South.
The Texans in Houston. The Colts, the Titans. Oh my God! Let's eat. We play the Patriots next year. We're gonna play the Cardinals again. We're gonna play the Washington Commanders again. Oh, come on! What are we talking about?
That's like easier schedule than this season was, man.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. And we're gonna be better. Come on.
And then I wanted to talk about this too, real quick. I forgot to throw this in because maybe you might know even, Walt. I forget how many of Pace's guys we're still paying.
Oh,
we're still paying guys that Pace sign.
After this year, it won't. Well, I know we're paying Tarico and we're paying Danny Trevathan. We're paying Robert Quinn, Matt. But this is the last year we got to pay any of them. Now next year, if we don't find a trade partner for Eddie, we're gonna have him on the books for a couple mil, and we'll have Whitehair, I think, on the books for a couple mil. But guess what? That'd be another 18-20 mil in salary cap space.
What's Eddie Jackson making this next year?
Boy, Eddie getting paid, but I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Eddie getting it for the production we not getting, and I don't count nobody else's money, but damn.
Here's my guy from Bears Media Co. He's saying next year we've got only 900,000 in dead cap hit next year.
Nice.
We'd never see that with Pace. You'd never see anything like that.
Yeah, next year
under $1 million, never with Pace.
That's what I'm saying.
Every year we were paying guys. How long did we? Is Leno still getting paid this year? Because I know he was last year. I'm just saying, man.
No, and then we're gonna take Patrick off the books.
Yep.
We're gonna get a good deal done with Tevin. It's gonna be incentive because of the injury. So, when we start looking at extensions for Tevin, for Kyler Gordon, for Brisk, we're gonna be in a good position. So that's why with the draft capital, we still got Tyrek Stevenson on a rookie deal. We got Terrell Smith on a rookie deal. Like the secondary is solid. We got Edmonds and Edwards locked up, and Sanborn locked up. Defensive line, them rookies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The law firm Pickens and Dex. They locked down. We got Sweat locked down. So now we got flexibility. You know, I won't verse, but I'm gonna watch and see what because the deal Hunter, he put a no transition tag in his contract. So they can't tag him. And Chris Jones did the same thing with
KC.
with the Chiefs.
Yep.
But do I want Hunter and Jones, but I take Newton and Verse. Those will be two. Newton's a monster at the 3 tech, and then you got Verse, my boy from Florida State. He's a monster.
You know, if there is, what about if there's that left tackle sitting there though?
Who? Fashanu?
Either of them.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll take either one of them because, like, you got to have a franchise left tackle. I like Braxton, but I think he'd be a better swing tackle, I believe. Because next year we're gonna play better talent with it. Like this year, what team other than the Vikings and the Browns had? Because Hutchinson played primarily against Darnell Wright. So what other team has some premier edge rushers where Braxton Jones was truly tested when he was healthy?
Mm-hmm.
Is he even completely 100% healthy from that?
He looks good in the run game. I see he graded out on PFF the other day at 93.3 in his pass blocking. So
I caught that. I mean, I know he's gotten healthier, but you remember, like, what was it, the Raiders game where he was blocking Crosby with one arm in that game? I'm just saying. Is he fully 100% even yet?
Darnell Wright, he did a great job. You're right. He blocked Crosby with one hand in pretty much the entire game.
Yep, and you know that was just the pick that needed to be picked. That was like a godsend, really. Because who else? What else were we going to do there? If you don't trade back and pick up right, who's playing right tackle right now? They probably aren't on the Bears right now because there was nobody on the Bears. You probably have to stick Borum in there, but we know what that is.
Correct.
We know what Borum. So I keep saying it, man. PGT, Pole's got this. He's going to do the right thing. He's always on the ball with stuff. He's never going to be perfect because none of us are. Nobody is, man.
Well, like people talk about Velus Jones, but again, if you use Velus Jones similar to the way the 49ers use Debo, you'll get more value out of Velus Jones. Like every time I see a toss sweep with Velus, he's getting 8 to 10 a pop.
Yep. I was shocked we didn't do a little more of that. You can't overdo it. You don't want to overdo it because they ran Velus twice, and then they try to sweep on, what was it, 3rd and 1 when we did the sweep with Scott, and he got nailed for like a 2-yard loss because they saw it coming.
Right.
Was that the Cleveland game, I think?
Yes.
So, you got to play it right. But if you're going to do that, and we've seen what Velus has done at that, and he hasn't fumbled doing it because that's what everybody's worried about. And maybe you could get a little more out of him than we anticipate because everybody to this day that I see, most people are just like, he's gone. You should cut him now. He's gone. Well, you've got to try and work with the contract he's got because you got him he's a 3rd-round pick, man, on a rookie deal. If you can get anything out of that, and that's why he's still on the team, take advantage of it. Go ahead, Shorty.
We got a $4.99 super chat from Mark Gauthier. Thank you, Mark. Trade was 2024 first, 2024 third, 2025 first, 2026 first, plus player hello from Easingwold, England. Keep JF1. What? I missed that. Huh?
All right, Mark. Is that Mark Gaucher or is that Mark Gauthier? Which one is it?
I don't know. Is it Gaucher or Gautier? Gautier. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support. I don't quite understand that, though. Did you guys get that?
No, I was just going to go over that again. I was still reading it.
He's just giving you a list of picks plus a player. That's the trade he wants to do.
With the Washington Commanders?
Trade with Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, trade with Washington. Gotcha.
2024 first, 2024 third, 2025.
Shorty,
First.
asking what player is he identifying from the Commanders?
Yeah.
Plus player hello from Easingwald. Who are you talking about, Mark?
Yeah, Mark. Which
player? Because there's a few guys you could try and snag off of that team.
Easingwald, England, keep JF1. Plus player hello.
Plus,
That's
that's
not
the trade plus a player. And that's go ahead, Walt.
Oh no, I'm just saying the sentence ends with plus player, and then he says hello.
Right.
Oh,
Right. I was just going to say because there's been you've seen them all.
I'm lost without periods. Sorry.
Because you're all over this.
Just mentally add him in.
Because you don't use
trades that
periods
I
either
have
when you
seen-
text, Walt. That's how you can understand that. You have run-on sentences too.
Because everybody keeps saying Deron Payne, but Deron Payne got that bag, and I think he got 2 sacks this year.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Sweat still leading that team in sacks?
He is.
But I was going to ask you this, Walt,
Finishes
because
that way.
I know you've looked at it like I'm hearing and seeing the trade talk for this year's first round pick is going to be something in the line of three firsts, 2 seconds possibly, and possibly a player. You think that's where we're at realistically, or is everybody overplaying this a little bit?
I think 3 first-round picks and a player is asking too much, don't you?
No, not at all.
Did you
Because guess what?
The
If you-
2024 though is not really. It's just swapping the pick, Shorty.
Correct. So really, it's 2 picks, 25 and 26, and a player. But guess what? I want a 2025 second, a 2026 third, and depending on the player, like the lower the team, whoever comes down, like that pick gonna either be a third round or a second round. Like that's the price you got to pay to do business.
Yeah.
You know, that's like now Washington, you know, again, asking price is going to swap the 24 first round picks, 25, 26. And I need Jonathan Allen because he's already expressed that he wants up out of there. He's tired of the losing culture.
Yeah.
If it's the Raider, I want 24, 25, 20. Look, I want Max. Everybody say we can have Devon. No, I want Max Crosby.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, I wouldn't take him at this point.
Nah, like I said, we can go get Johnny Wilson from Florida State. We can go get Keon Coleman from Florida State. Like those that's 6'7" and 6'4", and Keon Coleman can return punch too. We need a little bit more flair back there because Trent Taylor, you know, at the end of the day, he's not giving us anything in the punt return. We need more than just catching the ball.
I agree, man. I mean, well, I don't know if I agree. If you agree with me, I would have no problem with Keon Coleman being on this roster. None.
Okay, I figured that's who Mark was talking about. He said Terry.
That's the body style that he tried to. He's the same guy that they tried to get with Claypool almost.
Correct. He is.
That was the point of bringing Claypool here, was to have that big guy like that with the speed and the height and the jumping.
But Keon Coleman can go up and high point the ball where Claypool can't.
Was hoping Claypool could, and you're right, he can't. Is he still even on Miami?
Yeah.
He's still on the roster?
He's still on the roster. Just he was on the field during the last what game was it? You can see him on Hard Knocks if you watch that.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't have time to watch. I'm following all the Bears stuff, man, because it's all the time I got right now these days.
With Scary Terry is another one of those 6 foot nothing guys. We have plenty of those.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait, the Dolphins are on Hard Knocks?
Yeah, they're the in-season Hard Knocks this year.
Jets pre Miami during.
Fuck, I thought there was only one. I didn't realize.
It's interesting, but listening to Mike McDaniel's talk is kind of hard if you have half a brain.
He's slow, man.
I have half a brain. I think he's funny. Probably because I only have half a brain.
I think he's funny too, man. But it takes you got to go through stuff to get to it. He is slow and he's very precise and explains it to you, but it gets boring and I'm just going off of his pressers, man. I'll sit there and wait because he's always got something good somewhere hidden in the message. Always, every time. I like him, actually.
Chase Claypool has 3 catches for 24 yards. Sorry, 25 yards since joining the Dolphins.
Okay, so here
23 yards. Sorry, 23 yards.
Awesome, Chase. Sorry we wasted that second round pick on you.
We got another $4.99 super chat from Mark. Is it Gautier? Thank you, Mark. You are awesome. Terry McLaurin. Then trade number 3 for 2025 first Arizona. It's taking MHA.
Marvin Harrison Jr. at 2.
Yeah, I would imagine they probably are.
Well, they need him because, boy, the receivers they got, they can't catch a cold buck naked in the North Pole.
Right. And I think the only guy I like out of their receivers is Wilson. Remember Wilson? He was on Stanford. But even he's had a couple flashy games and nothing to stand out.
Nothing.
And they're kind of in a spot. I believe if they didn't have this big contract with Murray, they'd be aching for a quarterback to start over again. But I don't see how they're going to do it.
I think we're going to start seeing a lot of owners figure out a way to not have to pay these massive contracts because it's been buyers beware. Like Burrow, Herbert, Hurts. Think about it. Everybody that got a massive contract, they have paid. Deshaun Watson, they have been beyond substandard. Like you, Daniel Jones. Like, give me one quarterback other than Lamar Jackson that's remotely playing to the potential of that new deal that they signed. And the thing is, Russell Wilson got 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and he getting benched.
And he's benched because they're trying to weasel their way out of that deal.
Absolutely. So if I'm a free agent, I wouldn't go to Denver. If I'm a player on the team right now, I'm like, man, look, get me up out of here because you made the deal, good faith. The man is performing. Like at the end of the day, and y'all gonna say I'm gonna bench you because you don't want to change your contract because you want me to save you some money and you a billionaire? Man, are you sick? Like, I'm not even a Russell Wilson type guy, but the way they doing Russell Wilson, man, that's just straight dirty.
Yep, I'm with you.
That's one thing I like about Poles. Poles is showing, like, even when he told Jalen, "Hey, go out there and see if you can find another deal." Like I appreciate that. Like you don't railroad somebody. You actually give them an opportunity to go out there and position themselves for greater. Even if we all know that that's not going to work because, okay, if somebody said, well, I want to make that trade and he's still under contract, well, I want a second round pick. Nobody's giving that up. Only we would give that up like we did for Claypool with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But no smart GM is going to be like, no. I could just wait the free agency.
Yeah, but Poles already knew he was going to recoup that pick, man. He either way, he was just really hoping, and so was everybody else. Because I know when we got Claypool, I'm like, man, if Claypool can show any light of his rookie season and progress from that, I thought we had it made. Will, I figured DJ on one side, Claypool on the other. You can bounce one of those guys in and out of the slot. I was hoping Mooney was going to be the guy that he was 2 years ago. And I'm just going, wow, man, look at the potential that possibly could have happened with this offense. And then the season comes and we get DJ and Kmet. Those are the only guys that Fields can trust to throw the ball to. That's another issue. Those are the only guys he trusts to get the ball to consistently. And even Mooney,
guess he thought
I think it was 8. Go ahead, Walt.
In Green Bay, well, who did guess he had? They had Jordy Nelson, they had Greg Jennings, and they had James Jones.
Lazar.
Right. Well, yeah, in the later years, yeah, he had Alan Lazard. But in the bulk of things, that's the type of formation and personnel concept that, there go Don Burr. Detroit will be number 1 seed. Detroit about to get skull drug when they come to Dallas here on Saturday. What are you talking about?
If the Rams go to Detroit, I would love to be at that game, man. If the Rams go to Detroit for the playoffs,
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
just got a feeling, man.
Matt Stafford's gonna go back to the home that he built, and he's gonna slay them.
Tear it up. He's going to tear them up.
I wholeheartedly believe that. And again, I want us to go under the radar this year, and then next year, after a great draft, a great free agent class, a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback coach. Because regardless of how you look at it, whether it's Justin or a new quarterback, I'm not letting Getsy and Janarko develop a quarter. No, not at all. It's not happening. So either way, an OC and quarterback coach is coming in. Period.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that.
Period.
You got to.
I hate to see it happen, but
the defense is
it
ready.
needs to.
The defense is ready. Y'all, you realize that? Look, hey, Rasheem Green, we appreciate your service.
Don't let the door hit you on the ass.
Dominic Robinson, we appreciate your service. Have a good day.
Yeah.
So we like the draft is going to be the good thing about this free agency comes before the draft. That's going to tell us the direction that we're going in.
Yeah.
I love what you kind of were talking about a minute ago. Like if they could somehow like trade 1 to 3, and then if MHJ goes 2, and then somebody else needs that quarterback at 3, and then trade 3 again and just move down again. Oh God.
Yeah.
That would be the idea situation, unless there's the top polls is, and I don't see this, but unless they want that tackle, because you could pick up a developmental tackle that could possibly be better than Braxton in a later round, and just develop the guy. It's all you always got to be on the move to, and I'm not saying every draft, but every other draft you're looking at moves where you've got a guy that's coming up for contract, and if there's any way I can get better at that position for cheaper, I have to look at it. I have to. Mark Gauthier is on fire tonight.
Mark, thank you.
Hey, he's sizzling tonight, Mark.
Mark is paying our bills tonight, man. Thank you, Mark. Well, you want to read this since it's a run-on sentence?
Washington reported Lyron Caleb, there will be teams coming from Drake at number 3. Gauthier or Gaucher. If you're from Missouri, is that MS?
Yeah.
No, MS is Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi.
Okay. Oh yeah, the names. Wow, I'm having a real hard time myself too, Shorty. So at number 3, Gauthier, Gaucher, if you're from Mississippi. I'm from Oak Park, but own a bed and breakfast in England. That's cool, man. Oak Park. I used to hang out in Oak Park in the 70s, man. It was beautiful.
So, that's pretty awesome. You're out in England, huh?
Got to hook them up with Chris and Jason.
Yeah, for sure. Have you seen the British Bears show that we do? They're doing that on Tuesdays. They didn't do it this past week, but they're coming back next week. It's pretty interesting.
It is different.
So let's just recap that. Washington reported who's Lyron Caleb?
I think he's a beat writer for them.
Yeah.
Okay. There will be teams coming for Drake at number 3. Gautier or Gaucher if you're from MS. I'm from Oak Park, but I own a B&B in England. Thank you, Mark. That is very generous of you. Thank you very much.
And thank you for the report out of Washington, because I didn't see that anywhere.
Yeah.
But it don't surprise me that Drake May could be the third guy taken or the second if the Cardinals trade down. I'm just, whatever. Don't know what's going to happen.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even think Drake May going to be the second quarterback. I think Jaden Daniels is going to end up being the second.
LSU?
One. Yep, from LSU.
Yep. That's been the more recent talk too, Will.
I wanted to get to this.
They've been flashing his promos around. There's even, how they got their stuff on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Their little highlight reels, but he has been the talk for like the last 2 weeks over Drake May. And then didn't they Keith, did you said Drake May didn't play either? Because I missed a bunch of the bowl stuff, man. I just got too much going on. I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
that I
somebody
did.
said in chat that Drake May didn't play either. Also, MHJ's not playing or didn't play.
Yeah, that I knew.
Yeah, most of the big guys that declared automatically said in their statements they're not playing in the postseason.
I wanted to get to this really quick. So right now we're at a 1% chance of making the playoffs. So we need obviously to win out, and then we need the Rams to lose to the Giants, the Saints to lose to the Buccaneers, the Seahawks to lose to the Steelers, and the Packers to lose to the Vikings this weekend. Then next weekend we have to beat the Packers. The Seahawks and the Seahawks have to lose to the Cardinals, and the Rams have to lose to the 49ers. Look how easy that is, guys. We can make the playoffs.
Smoke some more, Shorty. Hey, man, I'm holding the beard till we're out of the playoffs. And this has been a hassle, Will. This has been a hassle, man.
I can
But I'm
imagine.
doing it.
Oh, man, that's a bigger fantasy than Jim Harbaugh at this point.
Wouldn't it be something if this happened, though? This miracle?
I think it's going to come down to the Packers game.
Oh, God, don't say that.
But we're going to
Why
beat
not?
the
We're
Packers.
going to beat them this game, dude.
Yeah, we're going to beat them.
We're going to beat them. Our defense is nowhere near what it was in game one. Nowhere near. Think about it. Just the progression of the offense. Take that for what it is. But look at what we're scoring every week. Look what we're scoring every week. I said this at the beginning of the year. I said, man, this offense should be capable of scoring 25, 26, 27, 28 points a game. And if the defense can hold them to, I was saying, under 20 every week, we'll win a lot of damn games. And it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the numbers the last 5-6 weeks, I think it is, we're scoring 23, 24 points a game, and we're holding them under 20 points a game on average. I'm not sure those are exact, but that's pretty close to what the numbers have been since I want to say it's the last six games. I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, but we're leaving too many points on the field, though. That's the problem.
Absolutely. And then we get in spots like in Cleveland. I don't care how bad the offense is playing, man. We can't give up 240 yards in the fourth quarter, dude.
You're right.
You can't do that shit. Win. Nobody can do that.
But again, that's what I'm saying. Like they had, and I like Terrell Smith. That 51-yard touchdown. Like I think if Tyreek Stevenson would have been in, he would have picked that off. Terrell Smith didn't play the ball. He didn't get enough depth. You had Terrell Smith, you had Tremaine Edmonds, and you had Jaquan Brisker in that area. And because Terrell Smith didn't play the ball, that's how he got. And then I think prior to that, we ain't going to talk about that 35-yard pass to David Njoku because Justin Jones was in coverage. Like that's 37 and 51. That's 88 yards right there. Like you can't give up those type of plays in pressure cook situations. And that's like when it comes to like situational game planning and execution, like Luke Getsy and Blues, well, they terrible.
That's you're not kidding. Situational football and progression of plays. Like 2nd and 3, and we're running the ball decently, man. 2nd and 3, you pound up the middle into an 8-man box. You get the first down, but that's when I want to see try and break DJ out for a long one. Because we could do that on 3rd and 3. They already had 8 guys in the box, and if we can do it, we could do it against that particular team. Because I was still pissed in Detroit when we had a 3rd and 5, and we were up by 12 or whatever. Right before we kicked the last field goal. You will remember this, Walt, because I talk about it. So anyways, Will, it's 3rd and 5. There's 8 guys in the box, and we run right in between the guard and the center, the left guard and the center, and he gets stuffed for a 1-yard gain. So we gave up right there and kicked the field goal. And at that moment, and you remember this, Walt, when that play happened, as we kicked the field goals, you and PJ both got a text from me. We just lost this game. I literally texted them that. And I did the same thing in Cleveland. I should have put this shit on Twitter, but at least you guys got the other one. And the dude I live with is like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm like, just watch what's going to happen, because that's what happens. We start getting playing the prevent, like Will was talking about. I say it the same thing too. Prevent us from winning. Just
from winning. Constant losses snatched from the jaws of victory, right?
What if we just won the Detroit to Denver game? Where would we be right now with the record? We'd be sitting in a playoff position, vying to go into the playoff.
Oh yeah,
we'd be real
those 2 games.
We'd be real damn close to our prediction.
What?
Our record prediction. We'd be really close to our record prediction.
Man, screw that. We'd be in a great position to be in the playoffs and maybe make some noise and scare some teams, because they've written us off for 2 years completely, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got to stop again because I'm going to go into a rant.
Well, I think you were very close to the record prediction. You were spot on. Like, again, it boils down to coaching. With adequate coaching, we win those games. Like, you can't coach. The one thing I like about Campbell, that game he lost to the Vikings, to the Packers, I think on Thanksgiving. He went for it 4 times on 4th down. They didn't get either first down. But the fact that he showed the kahunas to go for it and then play scared, I respected that. Because that lets me know my coach believed and trusted me. Like you can't sit up here and play scared, because realistically you in a rebuild year. You ain't got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With all of the losing that's been going on, you got nothing to lose, man. It's just, were you talking, Foster? I wasn't looking at you. All I saw was you moving. Okay, because you're muted. You can unmute yourself, dude. He's gonna do sign language now. We got another $1.99 super chat from Mark. Man, you are the super chatter of the night. We appreciate you. Lyrant equals they. Schefter, retired submarine. Oh yeah, you were saying earlier that you're a retired submarine.
He's a retired submarine mariner.
Yes.
Mariner. And Lyrant is a word for they, I guess. That's what I'm taking it. I started because I was going to bring it back. You don't got to pay for that, Mark. We try to get that stuff. I stuck it on the side. I should have said we'll get back to that in a minute. But thank you so much again,
Mark.
man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
And
Thank you.
Thank you for teaching us something tonight, because I learned something from you. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Foster has gas. Keep the mute on. Oh man,
it's bad enough smelling it, man. You just don't want to hear it either, though.
Yeah. I was asking Bears Media Co. what the Bears rankings are on defense, because I know they were like 9th like a week or two ago, and he's saying that they're 12th now overall.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah,
I was shocked when the power rankings came out, even too, because I couldn't believe they moved up that high.
And the power rankings?
Look at the power rankings; they're in the top 15.
Get the fuck out of here! Really?
Which power rankings?
ESPN power rankings or what?
I don't trust.
Let me look.
Yeah, right.
It's one that I see every week.
I look at CBS's power rankings. They got the Bears 24th.
Okay. So that seems a little high.
No, but I said these power rankings, they had offensive, defensive power rankings. And you know what? Look, because I got a feeling I was looking at CBS. Well, look for defensive power rankings, because I just couldn't believe it.
Defensive power rankings. Bears defense.
Sorry, man. Say something, Walt.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just going to ask you, are these actual rankings on statistics or just power rankings based on whoever wrote them?
Statistics.
Things. because those are two
That-
different things. I mean,
that
because if
is
you look
what
at
I'm trying to
ESPN,
find,
they
but-
have
Go ahead.
they did a tackle ranking, and Braxton Jones is in the top 10 for both pass block win rate and run block win rate. But yet we're talking about shipping him off to a swing tackle position, or possibly even off the team with somebody coming in to replace him. I feel like a lot of these kids out there today, just as soon as there's a chink in the player's armor in some way, shape, or form, it's like, we got to get rid of him. Got to go. Don't
I think
want
that's
going,
just
man.
I think that's just more of if you can get a Trent Williams to replace him with, you would.
Hey, do you really think either one of those guys are going to be a Trent Williams out of the gate? Because I don't.
Who the dude from Penn State?
Either Olufashano or Joe Alt from or whoever.
So
Sean
you think Braxton long-term stealing is greater than Joe Alt and Olufashano? That what you saying?
Do I think are they better at this point? I don't really know. I mean, we're seeing Braxton at the NFL level. We're watching these kids up against college. So I can't make a definitive decision either way. Right now, I know what I'm getting in Braxton Jones, and I know where his flaws in his game is, and I can fix those. At least if I'm a coach, I would do that instead of bringing in just a wild card to put down on the table, and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. I could spend that wild card on another position that I may need more. You got to look at it that way.
I'm looking at if I got the opportunity to draft a franchise left tackle, I'm getting him. and if worst case, him and Braxton Jones can go to camp and they can duel it out, and then may the best man win. Now, grant the trenches first and foremost need to be solidified for us. Period. Do we need skilled players? Yes, we do. So that's why I'm saying I'm gonna watch free agency first. But as of right now, if I can get Joe Alt or Olufashano with one of them top 2 draft picks, after I make that trade down, it'll be too enticing not to.
What man's
And that's no knock on Braxton. It's like going from good to great. It's the same thing what people saying about going from Justin to Caleb Williams, even though we know what Justin gives us right now. So a lot of people feel that Caleb Williams and Drake May has a better upside. Here's the thing. Justin hasn't even nowhere close to his upside.
Mm-mm.
That's what people fail to realize. So we know what we got with Justin. It's the same thing.
He's just scratching the surface.
Yes. And Braxton, when he has a lapse, it's the same issue. The bull rush, and sometimes now he's done a better job this year. Absolutely. I want, and he's a phenomenal run blocker. But again, what hurts us in the fourth quarter when we need to have a game time, a game winning drive? I want to see Justin or whoever plays quarterback in the pocket, but you can't be in the pocket if your left tackle is getting whipped. If your right tackle, which Darnell has been doing better, is getting whipped. Man, Nate Davis, he been getting whipped on and off all year. That's why I would rather put Tevin Jenkins back at right guard.
Oh, those two next to each other.
And we put Nate Davis over at left guard. I know he's played right guard predominantly his whole career, but man, that combo of Jenkins and Wright, oh my God, you talking about just nasty? And then we throw in Van Pran from Georgia at center. Oh my God, over.
That was that combination of Jenkins next to Wright at right guard and right tackle was like, where we're going, just stop it, and nobody could. But then they wouldn't. Then they would try to get Getsy would try to get cute and go to the other side. Just go to the fucking right side the whole game.
Right. And don't get me look. We have to evaluate just like we're evaluating Justin. When we look at Braxton, I'm looking at how does he fare against Myles Garrett? How does he fare against Sweat? How does he fare against Danielle Hunter, the top tier edge rushers and ends in the NFL? And man, look, Cleveland Brown, I saw Braxton like that a lot of that game, and I know he do a lot of tackles like that. But we need someone that's going to be able to keep the quarterback upright, and again, Drake May don't have the escapability like Justin. Hell, I don't even think Caleb Williams has that level of escapability like Justin. He kind of escaped a lot of those potential sacks that should have been given up by Braxton Jones. So when you see that, and it's like, wow, like we want him to be on the island and protect the blind side, but realistically, in game time pressure cook situation, you can't really trust and rely on that. And then on top of that, not having wide receivers is getting separation because a lot of the route concepts are 12 to 15 yard digs and skinny posts where your offensive line can't even hold up.
But to that credit, would bringing in a wide receiver that can create separation and run his routes in a more timely fashion, wouldn't that also relieve pressure off the offensive line, cause them to look better than maybe they actually are?
Yeah.
Would that help? That would help Braxton Jones or whomever they put in that position.
It will. And if you go back and look at the interview that Braxton just did, he even said, he said that Justin does a phenomenal job of saving them a lot of times when they're getting beat. When they're, he said it, if Plocker Sports, I think that's the one that did the interview with Braxton Jones. And he was honest. He said a lot of times we're getting beat, but Justin's athleticism masquerades a lot of those deficiencies. But the one thing that we want to see more of is what? Justin in the pocket. I want to see more of it. I want to see him going through progressions, anticipation, things like that. But we can't get a true evaluation of Justin if Braxton is getting beat, if Lucas Patrick is getting beat, if Cody Whitehair is getting beat like he back on the plantation somewhere. Like we can't get a true assessment of what Justin can truly do. So my thing is, let's bring in some top tier caliber offensive linemen. And then if Justin still doesn't elevate, now we know it's Justin. It's not the play caller. It's not the offensive line. Because it's like there at this point, our offense should have more synchronization and rhythm than what we've seen in the last couple of years. And we saw it the first game with Bajan, but after that, the next 3 games, what happened? The defense got the tape.
Yep.
And they shut what Bajan did pretty well. Like we scored 16 points against the Panthers. We scored, I think we came out 14-7 against the Saints. They shut us down because, again, like always, our guy, Luke, does a poor job of adjusting once the defense adjusting him.
Well, let's follow that logic train for a little bit, because I'm all for bringing in competition for Braxton Jones. I think it only makes you a better player. But what about picking something a little later and using those top premium picks on something else? Let's say a Jared Verse.
Oh, look, I want Jared Verse, but I want Newton from Illinois. So that's what I'm saying. It depends where we are. Like if I had to rank, it'll be hard, but more than likely, again, depending on what we do in free agency, because free agency comes before the draft. If we get an edge, more than likely, it's going to be an offensive player and a defensive player, probably guy on both, because we want to build the trenches. But we also want a skill player too, because let's be honest, we also know that we don't have the high level quality depth of skill players. Look at what's going on with KC right now. The reason why KC is struggling, they don't have wide receivers that can catch a cold buck naked in the North Pole. Man, Travis Kelce got 7 drops. So I think all this 20, I think he could be an all-pro. I think Ola Fashanu could be an all-pro. Do I think we can survive with Braxton? Absolutely. Do I think he'll get better as he go and work with because he works with Olin Krutz in the offseason. And Olin teaches him how to punch and how to keep the speed guys off of him and then anchor down his bull rush. But have you ever seen Braxton in person? When I saw him, Shorty, I know you did. Like when I saw him in person, he don't have no caboose. Like unless even if you strong upper body, you still gotta be able to anchor down. You gotta have some caboose. Like Ola Fashanu got that. Joe Alt got that. Like long term, how long is that? How long can that be sustained?
Will Wright has that.
Believe that.
I mean, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
right.
I saw
I forgot our
the
right
whole-
tackle's name now because of you. Darnell Wright is who I meant to
Darnell.
say.
Man,
I,
look,
mean, I don't know.
Well,
I told Darnell, I said, hey, you got my last night, so you got to go out there and dominate. He just looked at me and laughed. He's so funny, boy. He's coming.
What were you saying, Walt?
No, I'm just saying. To my point, more than likely to get one of those two top guys, you're going to have to spend one of your top picks, right?
Yeah.
And I personally feel that those can be used elsewhere to better the team in the long run. And like you said, we can survive with Braxton Jones, and I think he's only going to get better. And then if he doesn't, we can use one of those picks we acquire in the Hall trade to pick up a left tackle next year, because there's going to be another group that are just as good, if not better.
Oh, yeah.
We see it every year.
So Walt, who, in your humble opinion, if you let's put your GM hat on. First of all, would you trade down or would you stay at number one?
Fan of me wants to stay at number one. I'll just take Marvin Harrison and move on. Logically, I think the trade down makes more sense.
Okay. And with the trade down logically, who would you trade with?
Well, it depends. You have to see where Arizona is going to sit. First off, you got to go out there and you got to feel for that. Do they take a Marvin Harrison at 2, or do they? I mean, because they need players too. So are they going to trade, that pick as well to acquire more capital? And once that comes in, that also changes your draft strategy. Can you still get Marvin Harrison Jr. after trading? Yes, you could, because more than likely they're going to trade with somebody who needs a quarterback. So I mean, you can't. It's tough without seeing every piece on the chessboard.
Correct. But we're gonna go hypothetically. We're gonna go hypothetically speaking right now, based off of the variables that we don't know, and based off what we do know at this point. Because I'm with you. Everybody think that Arizona, it's a lock to stay at number 2. Because I don't think they're gonna win another game. When I look at their schedule, I don't see them winning another game. That at number 2, they're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't think that. I think that they're going to trade down to whoever wants Drake May. And they're going to get a haul because they got more holes than Swiss cheese right now on the offensive side and defensive side. And if their management is smart, they can do the same thing, get a haul, and start to build the team with a lot of draft capital where they can have a sustainable run out there in the AFC West and compete with the Rams and compete with the 49ers and the Seahawks. Because right now they're dead last in the division when it comes to players, coaching, etc. So I can see them trading, and then that'll put us in a great spot. Whether we stick, again, it's hard to say because so many. I can see a Atlanta team trading up with a haul. I can see the Broncos trading up with a haul. So depending on where our original pick and where the traded pick ends up, we still might not be in position to get Marvin Harrison Jr. And it would hurt because I do feel if you want to throw the word generational, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is generational because, one, he has the pedigree already and the work ethic, and his numbers could have been better if the Buckeyes weren't so conservative in a lot of their games. And I think he could be comp-wise. I know I've seen online, they said A.J. Green. Comp-wise, I think he could be more like Calvin Johnson. With the new rules that they got in the NFL right now, with his ability to run the entire route tree, high point the ball, man, I can see him going for 1,800 a year, 10 tutties.
Yeah.
But I also can see Rome Yadunte and Malik Neighbors going for 1,100 a year. I can see that too. They won't be as great as Marvin, depending on what. Or then again, they could be depending on what. If they go to a system like Miami, then who's to say that they don't explode? So again, you're right. With so many variables right now, it's really hard to depict because teams. We can pretty much look at what teams need quarterbacks, and you got a Raiders team. They want to make a splash. The Commanders want to make a splash. The Broncos need to make a splash for their entire fan base, go nuclear,
Yeah.
The Falcons need to make a splash. You know, hey, the Jets, the Giants need to make a splash. Everybody said, but see, Daniel Jones after this next year, they can get up out of that contract.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets,
Draft quarterback and have him sit.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what better teacher that you can sit behind Aaron Rodgers? What?
Right.
Yeah, and the Jets. Yeah.
Will C Sharp has a question for you here. He wants to know what you think of J.C. Latham. Thinking he could be a monster left tackle. I'm going to take a quick leak while you answer that. And where do you think he'll get drafted? I don't even know anything about him.
You know what, J.C. Latham, that boy, he's a monster. He's about 6'6", damn near 380 pounds, and he can scoot. So he's a monster. He can play left tackle too. So we like again, and SEMO, Chris Morgan is good at developing. That's one thing I will give Chris Morgan credit for. He's good at developing offensive line talent, even though he couldn't do nothing with Alex Leatherwood. I think Latham, he could be a dominant top 5, top 10 pick. But again, it's like he would definitely be more of a luxury pick. That's true. But guess what? That's a luxury right now that if I'm the GM, I would take a gamble on. I would. We do have a lot of needs. I agree, especially on the offensive side. On the defense, I think we get another edge and 3 tech. Really, everything now is just going to be depth pieces. And we can sign people to 1-year deals. But on the offensive side, we really need to sink some capital into our line center position. Either get a left tackle and make Braxton a swing tackle, or vice versa. And we got to get 2 wide receivers and a running back and another tight end because Tunion's on a 1-year deal.
Yep.
I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Mercedes Lewis back on a 1-year deal because he's done very well as a de facto leader, in addition to as a de facto left tackle because he's been in there blocking his behind off when they go 12 personnel. So I wouldn't mind bringing him back on a 1-year deal, if nothing else, for the veteran leadership and the continuity.
Yeah, I could see on that. Hold on, Walt. Let me just say this. Yeah, I just wanted to mention I'm a Mercedes fan even prior to Green Bay, man. Just because what he brings to the field, and I stood in front of that man, and that man is a monster. He is just an absolute freaking beast. I was standing right in front of him.
He's so
right
humble.
in front of him and Wright, and he made Wright look kind of not big, man. I swear to God. But anyways,
I said, he's been in the league almost 20 years. I said, how have you maintained and sustained at a high level? And he said, just the mental side, keeping your mental. I said, that makes sense. I said, because in life, like if you don't have a strong mental capacity, you're going to wither under pressure. And that's why I like Justin, because he doesn't shy from accountability and responsibility, and he can handle the big stage, whereas most people would crumble. Because when I look at Zach up in with the Jets, like mentally, he's out of there. Same thing with Trey Lance before they got him out of San Francisco. Like everybody mentally can't handle the big stage, and Justin has shown immense leadership. I think he has the locker room. Everybody, people say, well, what you expect him to say? Well, at the end of the day, a lot of these guys, if you trash, they're gonna say, like the Jets last year, what they said about Zach, oh, he's trash. We ain't going out there to play for this dude. Everybody in the locker room be like, hey, Justin's that dude. Yeah. And other players, if you talk to other players, what they saying? Justin, that dude.
Who was it that just said he was who was the guy that just said he was the toughest that he's faced this year? The guy in the Chargers. Come on, you know his name.
Who, Sean Merriman?
No, oh my God, this was just all last week. Everybody, it was all over the place.
And what they said?
They said that they asked him who's the toughest quarterback you've had to deal with this year, and he goes, "Yeah, honestly, Justin Fields."
Oh, well,
you can't get a beat on him. Was it Bosa? No, not Bosa.
I know Sweat said it.
Who's the guy on the Chargers, man? Not the other one.
Khalil Mack?
not Khalil Mack. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because just look at everything that's out there. Look at the old Bears quarterback, JT Sullivan, anybody that's done a breakdown and showed, because I've watched all of them in the last 2 weeks, and they're all saying you got to keep Fields, man. There's too much still to develop here.
Nick Bosa?
Yeah, I think maybe it was Bosa. He's on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Why do I keep thinking he's so it was
Jordy Bosa's on the Chargers. Nick Bosa's on the 49ers.
That's okay. See, that's what's messing with me.
Oh yeah.
Wrong first name, right last name. That's on Twitter or on YouTube or on Google. Him saying that it was the biggest challenge for him this season as far as getting after quarterback.
Look how well he gets out of the pocket and moves around. So it's got to be annoying as hell, right?
Dude, how many sacks should he have had in the last 2 games? Well, this is what I was kind of mad about Mercedes, and I'm sorry, Walt, because I know you were going to say something when we were talking about Mercedes. So there was the play where Justin ran to the right side, bunch of guys broke. Should have been sacked, and he comes back, I think, for like a 2-yard gain, but he ran like 40 yards. And Mercedes Lewis, if he would have looked and threw a block, Justin probably would have ran for 10 yards, maybe a touchdown. Because he just stood there for like 5 seconds, just stood there, Mercedes Lewis. So I was really disappointed in that. It's hard for especially somebody older to maybe run your ass off like that for every play, but I was mad at him for not paying attention because if he just looked and saw Justin coming back at him, he stood there as Justin went by and watched him. And then Justin ran into 2 guys, and he could have been there before and made a block. It's going to come up on film because they're going to show it. He's already seen it, I'm sure they brought it up. It was kind of a big thing the day after the game, but there's just little aspects of the game, and that seems to be all season, man. There's a little aspect here of coaching. There's a little aspect here of guys not executing the same crap I was talking about. It's such a combination of things, and then you top it off with some of the play calling with Getsy. That's why it's been like this, man. If it could have even been a little more consistent and a lot less mental errors, because there's been a bunch of those too, man. Where would we be?
And you know what? I don't understand all the mental errors because part of the hits principle is smart. So with that being said, if that's a part of your principle, and every week we seeing these little small details that aren't being accentuated, as you're saying in the pressers, then again, does that fall back on coaching? Because 2 weeks in a row, I've seen Justin Jones drop back in coverage when you said against the Browns, that shouldn't have happened. They scored. Then I think Connor scored again for the Cardinals on a similar play, a zone dog blitz. So I'm like, well, Flus, you're calling the play. Why is Justin like we had momentum 21-0. I said, okay, let me watch this. They got 2 first downs. It's like they went down and drove like that. But again, the defensive play calling was Swiss cheese. And I went back and looked at the personnel that was on the field when that happened. And guess who was on the field? Rasheem Green, Dominique Rock. Like, that's what I'm saying. We have to upgrade even the depth pieces at the edge position, because I know they said Green is good at containing the edge and stopping the run. But when it comes to the pass rush, it's like I want to have something like a NASCAR package like the Eagles had last year when they had 72 sacks. That's what I want. Because I noticed us, and of course I get it. There's a significant drop off when we take Sweat out when it comes to the pass rush. Like everything can't hinge on Montez Sweat. He's a force multiplier. He's phenomenal. But same thing with the Detroit game when he was on the sideline. I'm looking, critical time, 4 minutes left, and I see Montez Sweat and Tremaine Edmonds on the sideline. Like what? Like, Flus, what are we doing? You're the CEO. You're the architect. Like, We're paying him $100 million. The last 4 minutes, he don't need a break. You got to leave it all on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to hear, we rotate. No. And crunch time, like, it's like we're the only team that does that. Because I watch all these other teams, and crunch time, the big time players are in the game. The Tyler Scott, he's not in the game doing a moment of truth, a moment to make a big play. No, DJ Moore or Darnell Mooney, like that's where the ball is going. I'm gonna live and die with my marquee player.
That's why I love Max Crosby, man. The guy plays like 98% of the damn plays, dude.
Come on now.
He just is a beast. He's a beast.
Come on now. And he goes like you said, he playing 90-95% of the play. Aiden Hutchinson is the same way with the Detroit Lions. Yeah. Like he played 98% of the snaps. He was the only one that could get some pressure on field during the game. I'm like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah.
1 sack for no yards last week.
Who was that?
On Justin.
Oh, okay.
And it should have been like 4 more. At least 3 that I remember seeing.
It's a lot better than, him get 5-6 sacks a game, 4 or 5 sacks a game.
And getting the crap kicked out of him, man.
He's throwing less interceptions. He's turning the ball over less. He's getting sacked less.
When y'all get a chance, read that.
Hold on, guys. There's an interesting conversation going on here, and I kind of want to comment this in person than actually through text with Leonidas, and he's talking about the rushing yards and how they're irrelevant to the quarterback because passing yards are all that matter, I guess. But I do want to pose the question to him: if you have 2 quarterbacks and one gives you 250 yards, all passing, right? Doesn't rush at all. Let's say that happens, and you have a quarterback that gives you 200 yards passing and say 97 yards rushing. He gave you more yards. So are you going to, piss that away and say, oh, that's not good? What's the difference? It all comes down to total yardage at the end of the day. Are you moving the ball? Does it really matter how you move the ball to get there? If I threw 1 touchdown, ran for a touchdown, and then I ended up with, 170 yards and 100 rushing yards, that's still 270 total yards right there.
And I think, Walt, that's the problem with a lot of this fan base. Like they're so used to seeing a conventional quarterback. But again, we've truly never had that in Chicago, so I don't even understand why people have these high hopes of grandeur. In order to have 300 total yards, the 300 total yards needs to come from the pocket and pass. No. If he throws for 180 and runs for 85, 100 and get 2 passing and one running, that's 3 touchdowns. That's almost 300 total yards. I can live with that. Guess what? The chains are moving and the clock is moving. Like a lot of people can't adjust and adapt to this new way of dual threat quarterback play. And unfortunately, they don't want to accept it. So I tell them to die off like the dinosaurs because that's the new era that we've transitioned in. The old day of the mannequin pocket quarterback, that's over. Now you want your quarterback to throw from the pocket, absolutely, because that gives them long-term longevity where they're not constantly getting hit and hurt and things like that. But hell, let's think about it. Joe Burrow got hurt from the pocket, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert got hurt from the pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson got hurt from the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these issues that we've seen. Kirk Cousins, what did he get hurt from? What did Aaron Rodgers get hurt from? The pocket. So a lot of these stances and narratives, unfortunately to me, have become counter argumentative because what people are arguing about, people are getting hurt. They're not getting hurt from running and scrambling. They're getting hurt from in the pocket. A lot of the Achilles issues that Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins, I think they were some freak accidents, but it happened in the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the thing with these injuries too is most people don't get it. You could be walking down the street, step on a Lego, and throw tear your ACL right off that. It just happens in a blink of an eye. It doesn't matter if you're running, you're passing. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's the inevitable.
I got a funny story on that. So my car dies in the middle of Chicago Avenue here on the west side of Chicago at about 6:30 in the morning. And I'm a pretty strong guy, man. I've been in trades all my life. I've done construction. I've done some, matter of fact, at that time when this happened, I was moving sheets of steel all day long, man. So I got a little Ford Escort, man. I pushed a pickup truck full of tools down North Avenue. So I go to push this little Ford Escort with nothing in it. There's the street's kind of rounded, so I'm pushing it up. And I stuck my leg into the ground just to push it with my shoulder, right? I tore the tendon off my bone that holds your calf in place. I've made that move in my lifetime over 40 years in construction 2,000 times. But that day, I leaned into the car and put just enough force to rip that tendon off the bone and uncoil it from around my calf. So, I mean, that's how easy it is to get injured. And you could do it so easily, man. We don't even think about stuff. I never thought of that ever would have. Never would. The first thing I thought, because I literally heard it pop, was somebody shot me. It's 6:30 in the morning. I'm on the west side, dude. But I'm just saying, it's that easy to do, man. Another time, I was walking around the corner of my dining room. I had one of those old tables with the steel legs, slipped. I broke my pinky toe. That was one of the worst freaking pains I ever had in my life with my little toe, man. So to your point, it is just too easy to get injured, man. How many guys get injured today when there's nobody even around them? Just running down the field with the ball. We see it 3 or 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, and what we're saying is it's not even tied to just Justin Fields. This is anyone, quarterback, any player on the field. This can happen to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You know, and I had people talking about fourth quarter turnovers and all this other bullshit. So, like, I'm just gonna pull up, a random ass stat that whatever fits my argument at the time. I don't really care. I don't know.
I just think that it's, there's a lot of shit that goes along with trying to criticize Justin for passing yards per game, and that is, you could put a lot of that on Getsy. So I think that what we've seen from Justin, personally, my opinion, it's just my opinion. I know you guys all have yours, and we appreciate your opinions. This is why you're here, and we appreciate you here with your opinions. So we're not shitting on them. My personal opinion is that I just think that you cannot give up the haul of picks that you are going to get for a guy who won't even play in a fucking bowl game. So Justin Fields he's been getting better. If you can't agree with that, then I don't know what you're looking at. He has been getting better. Is he passing for what do I want 350 yards passing a game and 4 touchdowns? Yes. Who does that? You're asking him to be a top 1% quarterback in the league? So
Mahomes ain't even doing it.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Talk about problems in Kansas City, Will.
You got guys here in Chicago sports guy. You can have your opinion. That's fine. I'm not telling you that you can't. But at the same time, you're hyper focusing on one single stat to tell the story of the entire player, and that doesn't work. That's why I'm calling bullshit on that.
I'll throw this. Go ahead, Walt. Sorry.
No, I mean, you want to talk about turnovers. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is leading the entire league with 19 turnovers right now.
Yeah, there's some
No,
problems.
we're not
But no one's talking about that though. No one's talking about Josh Allen and all the turnovers he have, and I'm just saying, and don't get me wrong. People gonna say, well, but when it comes to crunch time, he can pass from the pocket, and I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like you, the comparables are not there. Like you can't. Like it's and I love the spar. I love the debate. But it has to make sense. Like you said, everybody got their opinion, they got their viewpoint. But like I said, at the end of the day, when you look at the Buffalo Bills, they got Gabe Davis, they got Dawson Knox, they got Stephon, what's his name? Diggs. Outside of Moore and Cole Kmet, like realistically, consistently, who we got that can make a play? Because every time they're in a position to make a play, what we get? And people say, well, they don't know if Justin's gonna run a pass. Like they're not even getting open. And when the ball comes to them, they bumbling and fumbling like they playing hot potato and hopscotch. I'm just saying, like shit, like consistently, like it's like I'm blown away the amount of ineptness that our offensive skill set players have shown when you've had the opportunity to make plays, move the chains, and make it easier on the offense as a whole. Because I look at that as opportunities to showcase my talent, but I can't. How can you do that if every time you're in a position to make a big play, you don't make the play?
So I want to know we got chat's blowing up here. Chicago Sports Guy and Leonidas are clearly out on Justin Fields, and I'd like to know what is your solution? Are you trading that pick then? You trading the Panthers pick? I'm sorry. Are you keeping the Panthers pick and you're drafting Williams? You drafting Drake May? Or what are you doing? You want somebody later? Maybe you want a Ewers if he's coming out, or who's a dude from Michigan if he's coming out. I'd like to know what your solution is for this then.
JJ McCarthy, Michigan. Yeah, I was just gonna tell Leibniz, send us an email. Come on the show. Explain this. That's all.
Yeah.
If we don't understand
BearsCountryPodcast at gmail.com. Come on the show and
roll it on the bottom of the screen, man. These guys, all three of these guys, or two of these guys should all just come on here and tell us, man. If we don't understand it and you can't get your point across, come and say it, because that's what we're doing. That's why Will is here tonight, man. He's telling us his opinions, man. Everybody's got their opinions. We just went through it. That's what we do, Will, is we try to have a conversation where everybody can say their opinion, and then all we do is give our points, man. Because we've had stuff here where people are thinking one way and they're just locked into this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've had an open discussion and everybody's throwing in their 2 cents, and it changes opinions, or they see something in a different light. And that's all we're really trying to do, is enlighten everybody to every point, because not everybody always sees every point, especially if you're just watching the games, man. I've been so into watching the all 22, especially with this stuff with Justin, man, because a lot of these professionals that were quarterbacks or trained quarterbacks for a living, this is what they do for a living, have been showing me consistently that it's been progressive. And in more recent times, it's like, would you love Justin to make that throw? Yeah, I would. But if he doesn't make it in this second, as he's coming around the corner and the defensive end is pressuring our tackle, blocking his view, if he doesn't make it at that exact moment, you don't want to make that throw, because there is an opening, but it's not what everybody's saying it is. And it's not all the time. Quarterbacks miss open guys. It happens in every game. Go look at it all 22 from every game every week. I'll bet you see 10, 20 receivers where there's guys that was open that was missed, at least.
And Leonidas and Chicago Sports Guy, if you've been watching this channel, you have seen throughout the season me saying the same shit you're saying right now, because I have been there with you saying the same thing, that Justin Fields his footwork and his timing and rhythm in his passing sucks compared to what we were looking at with Tyson Bagent at that point in the preseason. Then Bagent comes out and we see Bagent with this, we're like, holy shit, to what Will was saying earlier in the show. The footwork and the timing and the rhythm of the passing and hitting different receivers. And then it turns out his arm is not as strong as we would all like it to be. If that dude had a Justin Fields cannon, we'd be talking about a different story right now. But yes, Justin Fields has been getting better, and considering what he's had to work with as far as his offensive line not being all together, at the full unit when the season started before he was injured, and Getsy being a complete fucking buffoon when it comes to calling plays, and his game plans just go right out the window one week, and he kept using that freaking Green Bay game plan from the first game of the season. He used it like 4 times this year, and they were losses. So it's for me personally, it's come down to this far in the season. There's a couple games left. Justin has been playing better, and I think that as we've talked about a lot on this show with PJ and Walt and Foster, is that you can win. You can win with him. And Swifty said this before. You build through the trenches, and that's how you succeed. So if we can build our trenches and we can get Justin one more receiver, we can win with him. Again, I haven't seen the answer in here because I would like to know what you guys would like to do. Do you want to take Caleb Williams at the first pick? What do you want to do with it, guys? Just your opinion. I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Can you win with Fields? Yes. But can you win because of Fields? Yes. Leonidas, let's go back to last year. There was like 5 game-winning drives that were denied of Fields. There was like 2-3 goal line stances against the Commanders. There was a goal line stance against the Packers that they didn't score on. They had that freaking Pittsburgh Steelers game. Justin Fields won us that game, but it was taken away by a taunting penalty. The Minnesota game last year, they were driving down the field, and Smith Marset just hands the ball back to the Vikings on the sideline. That wasn't his fault. They were driving. Velus Jones muffs a fucking punt in a game that they were winning, that Justin Fields had the comeback drive on. Sorry he couldn't get the second comeback drive. I mean, there are instances, if you're taking notes, where he had plenty of chances to win us a game, and it was denied because of shitty play calling or things that were out of his control. And that's why, after us all having multiple therapy sessions on this show, I think that we've all, these guys have talked me into agreeing that that's got to be the thing to do, is to keep him and just build your team with these next couple of drafts. And if it still doesn't work out with him, then maybe you have a first-round pick in 2 years that you can use on a quarterback then. Do we want to see that? No. Could Caleb Williams be a generational talent? That word does get thrown around a lot because we're still in the generation of Patrick Mahomes. So we have to wait for Patrick Mahomes to retire before there's another generational quarterback. So I don't know. Is Caleb Williams a diva? Is he the kind of player that you want on your team compared to a Justin Fields? Justin Fields wants to be in Chicago. He is a team leader. So I don't know. I'm just trying to. I think
what you're saying, it goes down to more than just passing yards.
Yeah.
You need the quarterback to throw the ball. Yes, of course. Should he improve in that? Yes, I'd love to see more than just 180 yards passing. But you also need a leader and a guy that can go into the locker room and, rev his guys up. And from what we've seen from the players themselves is they have his back. So that should be telling to you as well. Mm-hmm. You take that away from them, you take a piece of them away as well. Mm-hmm. And you run the risk, like I said earlier in the weeks before, about losing the locker room or losing the players themselves by going out and throwing a pizza party for the fans that want to sit on Twitter and say we need to move on from Justin Fields because of XYZ, whatever they want to pull up. I don't, it doesn't matter to me what the stat is.
And look, people got to understand too. Guess what? That roster, if you look at 89, probably about 85% of that roster is 25, 26 and below. That's a young roster. So if you take someone that's perceived to be a leader up out of that locker room, now all that homegrown talent that's in there, they're gonna be like just like last year when they got rid of Roquan and got rid of Robert. Like they were like, what the hell going on? The only person they left with some seniority was Bojack. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because even Jalen Johnson, he's young. Jalen Johnson is like 24, 20, 25, somewhere in that he's one of the vets now, along with TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. Mm-hmm. So, and Tremaine is 24. I think TJ is like 25. So when you build cohesion and you build, like you said, camaraderie, like they consider themselves brothers in that locker room. I know at the end of the day, we're identifying solely the opportunity of Justin growing as a passer and things like that. But I think his ceiling is super high. And I read something coming earlier where, okay, well, this is year 3. There's no more excuses. Well, but there's no excuse for a depleted line. There's no excuse when you only got 2 people, DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, that's consistently catching the ball. There's no excuse when you got a play caller that doesn't consistently puts his player personnel in position to excel and exceed.
And to answer Bearski's question, wasn't he's saying I have a question. Name me Peyton Manning's offensive coordinators. I know it's an unrealistic comparison. However, did we ever blame his failure on play calling? It didn't matter because he was great. Wasn't it? Who was the? He became the head coach after what's his name retired. Wasn't he the play caller most of his career? What's his name? Everyone was saying we should have hired him as head coach. He was Detroit's head coach.
Oh, Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, wasn't Jim Caldwell his coordinator most of his career?
At one point in time, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bruce Arians. Yeah. Also, there's another good one for you.
How many Peyton Mannings have we seen in the last 20 years?
Again, generational.
1.
Yeah.
2. 1. 2. I'm just here. I go back to this, man, because I've been watching a lot of Lamar, and I started looking at his stuff from his rookie year, and he was not a good passer, dude. He was not a good passer. But that whole he still got the same coach, the same system, and much more talent around him than he had when he originally stepped. And you know, Baltimore's always been consistent anyways. They've been one of those teams that has turned over players and gotten the next good guy coming up. That's the other thing that we don't do in Chicago, Will. We draft. Man, I remember when I was a kid going through the paper and looking at the drafts because you knew we didn't have the media we had today, but you knew the names that you wanted to see in college. And I'd look at the Bears drafts every year, and we used to have 12 or 14 rounds. And I'd look at the names, and I'm like, man, we just drafted 14 or 15 guys, and we've got 2 players out of this draft. What the hell is that? I mean, we did that for 20 freaking years, man. The only time there was a separation was in between. I mean, we went back to it because Jim Finks, 1976 comes in, and this is right after Peyton was drafted. It took him a long time to build that team, man. There was poor drafting and poor scouting in this organization then. It's been a whole lot better than it's ever been, probably than it's ever been right now. Just in 2 drafts. Look at the names. Look at the guys that are staying on the field. Look at the guys that are getting poached. They're not all making it, but there's a reason they're being poached because the potential's there. And I just Lamar, his progression has been. I mean, did you guys see the last 2 games? The last 2 Raven games, I happened to catch them because I could see them for free. So, just what he's doing these days, man. And I'm going, man, Justin does a lot of what he's doing now, but he doesn't finish it. Well, he doesn't have the same guys that Lamar's got. He hasn't been working with them for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So I see a lot of the potential where if we have not had a consistent offensive line the entire time he's been here. You can't tell me we have. Where it's been consistent block. It doesn't have to be the same guys. Look at the Cleveland game. I love that coaching staff for what they've gone through and what they've done, man. 4 quarterbacks. Their offensive lines have deteriorated. Their backfield, they got problems in the secondary. They're like on their 3rd safety at the 1 position. Their defensive line's been a mess, but they've been able to scheme and make all the necessary adaptations. That's the other thing that we suck at is second half adjustments. We made none against the Cardinals. None. 6 freaking points. I'm rambling because there's still too many things to be done on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Will, you're absolutely right. The defense is so close. We need a couple pieces, man. That's looking great. But you take the rest of the team, man. You take that offense. We got to get better in the interior offensive line. It's got to be consistent. And then we talked about it. Guys doing their jobs, play to play. You're making $24 million a season. Yeah, you should probably be on the field, especially in the 4th quarter when we're dying.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing too about the MVP season that Lamar had was, yes, he didn't have a 1,000-yard receiver. That is true. I think Mark Andrews only had 852 yards for 10 touchdowns, but they also had 2,000-yard rushers, 1,200 yards from Jackson, and that's 10-18 from Mark Ingram. So the offense just went in a different direction, and that's why I brought up sometimes passing yards don't really mean he only had X amount of passing yards or to a certain receiver, but he had 1,200 rushing yards. So what's the difference? End of the day, he still made up, for those yardage in some way, shape, or form. So if you're not going to pass and you're just going to run, it's got to come from somewhere.
And look, tell Leonidas, okay, he said Flacco had more yards in the fourth quarter than Fields did. But again, when you look at it in context, if everybody would have caught the passes they should have caught that game, Scott had 2 drops. Mooney had a drop. Then he dropped the Hail Mary. And what's his name dropped the 75. Man, that's like 340 yards right there. So it's like, and then when you look at on the other side, okay, Flacco, we called out 2 plays, 51 and 37, that shouldn't even took place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That were lucky on Flacco's. Like everything's in context because, again, Flacco was put in a position to succeed, whereas when Justin gave his playmakers an opportunity to make a play, what they do? That's all you saw. Like I said, I like everything to be in context. When Justin clearly messes up, misses a read, misses an open pass, guess what? He deserves to be critiqued. But come on now. When these other guys are not handling business consistently, if you look week to week, again, I was pissed off too to only see 35 yards in the second half against Arizona when I knew we should have put up 40-some points. But
I was waiting for the Arizona comeback, to be honest. In fact, I was like, here it comes. Here it comes.
I think it was 24-16. I said, man, please tell me we ain't about to go through this shit again.
No. Arizona's just not good enough. If it was, if that was Atlanta, if we do that against Atlanta, we're losing.
We're losing. We got who they got? Heineke.
Yeah, that's who they're running. That's who's starting. You remember him last year from the Washington game against us? They actually beat us.
No, not last year, because last they had Carson Wentz.
He was out. He got hurt.
Oh, Heineke got hurt?
No, Wentz got hurt. That's how Heineke played against us.
Well, you guys were talking about Mooney here, and I want to bring up an interesting stat, because we all can agree, I think DJ Moore is having a career year, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Justin Fields, based on everything he's done in Carolina. And then we have the issue with Mooney where he was bringing up, I'm not being used and all this other stuff. I mean, I don't know what he's actually said. It was all in the media, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. So we come up to the next couple games, which was with Detroit and somebody else. Either way, he had 2 games. He had 15 targets. Caught 4. It's 26.6%. It's terrible. And,
right.
you wonder why he's getting written out of the offense, because that's that right there. We gave you the opportunity and you failed. Unfortunate as it is. That's what happened.
And those blocks, again, like Mooney is normally, for the most part, a good blocker. Like it's just there's no, you can tell it's like he's almost giving up. I hate to say it. Kind of like remember Allen Robinson? Like you could tell, like
out of my mouth.
Yeah, Allen, you could tell he quit. Like the plays, and that's when Justin. That was right when Justin was transitioning in. After that Steelers game that we lost on that phantom personal foul call because of number 59 Cassius Marsh with his little spin kick, and then he got a hip check by the ref. I said, it's like the refs have been cheating us for so long that I've become immune to it. It used to just be during the Packers game, but now it's like every game. We get hosed from late hits to phantom DPI calls to phantom holding calls. Like we get hosed in every area known to man.
Agreed, man. I bitch about it all the time, Will. Let me ask you guys this, because we've been talking about Fields this, Fields that. So I don't know who watched any of the All-22s, Will. I know you've seen it. Everybody that I came in contact with, and I'm talking Schmitz and JT O'Sullivan. There's like 4 guys that I literally was able to just chat with. And they all stated that actually this last game, Fields played a solid game, one of his better games, because the things that were going wrong were out of his control. And it actually went back to the Cleveland game. And you mentioned it, Will, where there was 5 critical balls that should have been caught in that Cleveland game. I think 4 of them. I'm not even counting the Hail Mary. That's the thing. I'm not even counting that, because 3 or 4 of those were first downs where we ended up punting because the ball went right through Scott's hands, or it was touched, but Mooney had it, but he didn't catch it, or there was 5 of them in that game, man, because they showed them on the all 22s. They literally stopped and went over that play like 6 times. So, do you guys think? And this is I'm a believer in this. Do you guys think there's enough progress in Fields to where, if he continues his growth the next 2 games, and these are ifs, and he does it for 3 or 4 more games in the next season, that he's a good, okay quarterback? It's just a yes or no, real quick.
I think he's a fine quarterback right now.
What do you think, Will? Good quarterback?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think.
Shorty?
Who, Fields?
Yeah.
I think he
I'll
can
get back to you in a
improve
minute.
as a passer. Yes,
Okay.
I agree
So-
with a lot of what people are saying
So,
here in chat. He can improve as a
If
passer.
he's a fine quarterback and he's good, you need, because you can win with a good quarterback. You have to surround him with great talent. We don't have great talent. We've definitely got way better talent than we had last year. But we still need to fix this thing, man. And to go in and get rid of them, we're just starting all over again, man. And I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. Somebody asked earlier in the chat if I wanted to keep Fields, and I've said it, I don't know for how long, man. You got to keep Fields. You got to take the haul and go on. I forgot. I had a better question than that, and I can't even remember because I'm getting aggravated with all the other shit going on here. Sorry.
Well, and that's why I want the line to be solid, because if we see him in the pocket, like Flacco had 3 touchdowns and threw for 309 yards tonight against the New York Jets, one of the top defenses in the league. But, believe it or not, and man, both of Cleveland tackles are out. But Flacco, he's a savvy veteran. I'm watching him like, he's been in the league, 12, 14 years? Again, once Fields understands his hot routes, taking the layups, like he's a big game hunter. Like either after you go through those first 2 progressions, if it's not there, take off, but protect yourself. Because it don't make sense to sit in the pocket to wait for something to develop and come open if nothing's coming open. Because everybody's bracketing DJ Moore for the most part, and nobody else. Cole Kmet, if it's not a design route, a lot of times he's not coming open. So he's limited with his resources.
I agree. You can win with him. You can build around him and win.
Absolutely.
I mean, you remove DJ, you remove Cole. Where are you going to go next?
Yeah, you got problems there, man.
That's the question. Where do you go? You need to have that secondary wide receiver, just like every other team has. They always have 2. Like you said, we definitely increased our talent pool. We went out, we got DJ Moore. He's having a great year. Cole Kmet is finally stepping up after, a couple down years. And I was off on Cole Kmet last season. I'll admit that. I thought he was slow. I thought he was a stone hand. I didn't even want him here. But, he changed my mind. He went out and did what he had to do.
He's just doing it. He's making himself into
Boy, is he
potential the potential that they envisioned when he was drafted. I know it was previous, but
and also
Coles resigned him. He resigned him.
Yeah, his contract is starting like a steal. So if he keeps developing his route running and he can give us 40, 50, 60, 70 yards a game consistently, kind of like what David and Jacque's over here doing. But Flacco, and then now you throw a Marvin Harrison Jr. on the other side, that makes Cole that more dangerous.
Yeah.
And let's just look at the Tua situation as well. I'm not saying Justin Fields and Tua are the same player, because they're not. But situation-wise, you had Jalen Waddle on the team, and Tua did okay, but they were still pushing for him to get out of town. He's a bust, yada yada yada. You bring in Tyreek Hill, and now all of a sudden they're Super Bowl contenders, and all that stuff from before has gone away.
Yeah,
Nobody's talking about it no more.
Let's bring in our Tyreek Hill and see what happens.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's the peak, and give us a scat back like a Devin Unchained. Lord have mercy, it's game on.
Mm-hmm. And if something does happen to the point where you trade, you get this haul, you bring in all these players, and Fields doesn't work out or whatever, you have those other picks you've attained in the trade to grab another quarterback. So you win either way. If Fields works out, great. You can use those picks for something else. If Fields doesn't work out, you have that pick in your back pocket to be like, all right, I'm going to go look at the quarterback class this year and see what's what.
Like I said, if it all blows up, give me Arch Manning in 26.
But just to move on from a quarterback because you're afraid you may have to pay him $50 million. I mean,
there was a time that I disagreed with you on that.
I don't know what to tell you. We've had the rookie quarterback window for 7 years now running, something like that.
Yeah.
What good has it done us?
Yeah. And then the coaching staffs too. I mean, and systems. We just keep changing everything. We don't give anything any time to develop here,
right?
Because everybody's so damn impatient. There's no developing, and then we bring in the wrong people. We bring in the wrong coaches. They run the wrong system. They run inadequate systems, especially offensively, because we've always had a defense, but we've never had a consistent, solid, well-balanced offense. Haven't had it. We haven't had it, and that's what you have to win today. You've got to have a solid defense, and you've got to have a well-balanced offense.
One thing you guys mentioned earlier about, sorry, Dan, about Matt Eberflus is that even, we're down all these games at the beginning of the year, the team stuck together. Now, partially that's on the players sticking together, but you need a leader at the top to keep the ship afloat and keep everyone together in a tight-knit group. So, I mean, I understand Flus hasn't made the greatest choices on some plays. He's definitely made some head scratchers. I'm not going to, give him a pass on that. But at the same time, he's kept the team running smoothly in terms of, we didn't have a Raiders incident where the team basically gave up on their coach and they ended up, firing him, the GM, the offensive coordinator, or I don't know who else they fired. But so testament to Flus there.
It's a fucking turnstile to hell, Paul. Just a turnstile, man. And then again, a lot of the guys that were complaining about, because I mentioned turnstile, and then I know you want to say something, Will. A lot of these guys that we've talked about, we've mentioned through here, Green, and they're placeholders till Poles finds the next better guy. That was part of the clear out of last year. Some of these guys, so there's plenty of placeholders on this team waiting for the next guy to come in that's going to be better. There's more than I thought going into the season. I have watched it throughout the season, and that's why I'm like, people are like, oh, dude, we're 3-4 guys away. I'm like, no, the defense is pretty set, but we need like 10 guys, man. We need like 10 real guys that we don't have, that are not on this team. They're not on this team right now, I don't think. There's probably 1 or 2. I'm probably wrong about 1 or 2, but
you and I talked about this last night. I think it's more like 4. Yeah, 4 like studs, like 4 big guys, and then the rest are back. They're
and then what happens when they get hurt and we have nobody again? Like Will kept mentioning depth, and I'm like, yeah, we need to have good depth. We don't have good depth. Give me we got 4 freaking centers on this team. Which one do you keep? None of them. The only one I'm interested in is who is Kramer? What is Kramer doing? He's on our practice squad because he's the only one I haven't seen playing an NFL game. I've seen enough of Patrick. I've seen enough of Whitehair at center.
What about
we
Frank?
didn't see any of Feeney. We saw how much of Feeney. Oh, I take it back. We talked about this. Feeney finished that one game up and he's probably actually, if you take every snap, he's probably the best guy to snap on the team. If you take every snap throughout the season from Whitehair and Patrick has gotten better, but I'm still seeing him reach on some of these some of these snaps, man. There's still a problem there.
Yeah.
So
Well, Foster, to your credit, all those guys are probably gone after this year anyways, so because their
absolutely.
contracts are up.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I said we really only have Kramer.
Yeah.
He's the only one. He's on a practice squad.
He still seems a little small to me. He seems like he'd be on the ground just as much as Patrick.
That's one of Poles' guys. It might even be Poles from when he was playing, because Poles was that same build, that same type. But we don't know. There's a reason he drafted him. There's a reason he was taken. There's a reason he's back. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Will. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh no, you're 100% spot on. Like, we got to get at least 3 offensive interior linemen. We need another tight end because I don't see Tunyon coming back. We need a scat back. We need probably at least 2 wide receivers, because if we're going to keep 6, it'll be DJ Moore plus 2 new ones. They'll probably bring Equinemius back. Valence probably going to come back. Tyler Scott, that'll be 6. So offense will be solidified. Then on defense, we go get that edge. We go get that other 3 tech. And I think we in business. We ready to run. Like I think we can win with Justin. I keep telling people, if give him time. I know everybody. Well, he doesn't have 3. Like, give him time. If everybody doesn't develop at the same path, we got a good backup in Tyson. He gonna get in the gym this off season, get his CrossFit on, get stronger. So in the event, Justin had to go down 2-3 games, because we're building something special right now. And I just want to keep. I want to keep this momentum going, because the last thing you want is for players to be like, "Oh shit," and they jettison out their quarterback. Like, what that mean for me? Because of course you're gonna think that he might not be a Poles guy, but he was drafted by the organization. Who was PB-17 saying somebody saw it?
He's talking with Joe Treviso, because he's calling him a Bajan lover and all this stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, our chat gets pretty crazy, man. But at least nobody's out there. You're a dumbass. You're a piece of crap. I hate that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They just it's fine to debate stuff, but when you start calling somebody,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm all about debating. When you start calling out the name, guess what? We got to meet you. You got to go. You're not adding no value to the chat.
There you go.
Yeah, Bears trying to fire everybody up. I mean, opinions are like assholes. We all have them.
That's it. And like I said, look, you got to understand too. Justin got to get better, because he want to see his second contract. Look, year 4. Even if they exercise the 5th-year option, that still don't mean you're gonna get everybody keeps saying, "Oh, do I want to pay him $50 million a year?" Just because you exercise the 5th-year option don't mean he's gonna get $50 a year. Where you getting that from?
Mm-hmm. Leo wanted to pull this up for us. Love and Tua are only passing for 40 more yards per game than Fields. So, if passing yards are all you're looking for.
And how much more are they? How many yards are they running for a game?
Right.
Does it total more than the yards Fields getting per game? There's my question.
How many yards does he have on the season? Anybody know that one? Just curious.
Who, Fields?
Justin Fields rushing yards on the season.
I don't know.
600.
I know he leads the team.
Yeah. Yeah, well, with the running backs that keep going down, nobody's been consistent there either. That's another thing. What if we had like you were saying, Will, we had a, and I believe, and everybody's like he's slow, but I'm a big fan of Roschon Johnson, because he just gets the job done.
Yeah, but he runs so hard sometimes. It's like if he just cut it to the right, man, he just try to run over people. I'm like, bro, like I'm seeing this whole. If you make somebody miss, you out to the races. But he squares up and just if it's a corner of safety, he taking them head on.
But that's why I like him, Will, because his ceiling is high. Once he starts learning these other aspects of the game, he's the best pass blocker we got. He's probably the best receiving running back we got. And then I noticed this over the last, I don't know, since when Foreman came in. So since Foreman started, because you remember when I was saying this, Shorty, I'm like, I says, man, I watch Herbert and Foreman, and Roschon does it too sometimes. I give him a little bit of a break because he's a rookie and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
They in the blocking scheme, even when it messes up, they hit the wrong lanes. Now, Roschon had a run the other day where that run was to the left, to the right, and there was no hole. And he went back 2 steps. He stopped, went back 2 steps, and went to the left and picked up 7 or 8 yards because he went and found a hole to run through.
Yeah, I love how he switched. He switched the ball.
He switched the ball because of where he was running from right to left.
Yeah. That was one thing that pissed me off about Monty all the time. He never switched the ball to the sideline hand. If he was running on the, I think he must have been left-handed because I think he always had the ball in his left hand. So if he was on the right sideline, he always had the ball in his left hand still. It's like, put the ball in the right hand, in the right arm.
Bearsky says, guys, how can we feel good about the long-term health when he's our leading rusher and running backs in this league last 3 or 4 years? There's a difference, Bearsky, and you're seeing it in the last few games. Mm-hmm. He's avoiding the hits. He's running out of bounds. He's sliding. Sometimes when we don't even want him to.
Mm-hmm.
He's just become a smarter runner. And if you look, you go to Baltimore again, I got to go back to Lamar because he's done exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's becoming a smarter runner.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't happen overnight, especially when you're bounced around in different systems and different coaches. You can't. Everybody makes me feel like that this has been 5 years in with Poles. It's not even 2 years yet.
I know.
It's not even 24 freaking months that Poles has been running this team.
Right.
And people make me feel like we've been sitting here talking about Poles and Fields for 4 or 5 years already.
Well, we are going on 3 hours here. I'm seeing Will yawned a couple times.
It's Will's fault, man.
So,
No, but well, let me know the next time, brothers, because I'm about to go get in the bed.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah, we didn't even mean to keep you this long. Well, we just start babbling. We do this. We've done this a few times, and we look up and it's 3 a.m. It's terrible, man.
But that's how you know you're passionate about it.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So please come back because this was fantastic in my eyes.
Anytime.
Oh yeah.
Give me posted.
Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, Will?
Yeah.
They can find me on Twitter at WillWright06, on Instagram, WillWright34. And we always talking Bears, the next level to sustain a great product and give us a return on investment where the fans will be delighted.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
We appreciate you joining us tonight, Will. Thank you so much, man. It was awesome meeting you and going to the. Oh, he was on the field with us with Chris Watson and we were waving the flag.
I was there, man. I couldn't believe when we walked in. So we walk into Soldier Field, and I got Chris Watts tickets, and there's no way to transfer it to his phone. So I got to go where Chris is just to get in. So you remember this, Shorty. We walk in, and who's standing there, man? Who's standing there waiting for us? He's like waiting for us to come in. You turn around, and there's Will going, oh, man, shit, I'll take care of that shit, blah, 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 blah. It was hilarious, man. That was a great day, too. That was a blast.
He's wearing the same on-field shirt that they gave all of us. We're like, wait a second, you're going on the field? He's like, yeah, I'm going on the field with you. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Look, I thought they wanted me to suit up, baby. Come on, baby, let's go.
You know, we would have done it.
You better believe it. Come on. I go out there and give them old crack back.
But we'll let you head out of here, and then we'll wrap up the show. But we want to thank you for coming on. You've been an awesome guest. We cannot wait to have you back on again, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. Anytime. Like I said, I had a good time.
Man,
Happy New Year to you and your family.
Happy New Year to y'all, brothers. Hey, it's going to be a new year of prosperity, W's, wins. Let's go. Super Bowl. Let's get ready. New Orleans.
We got to have you on like one of the pre-draft shows, Will, if you're interested, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Just let me know. Let me know.
Absolutely, man.
Or even the draft show, the marathons.
Let me know before I get booked up.
All right. Well, let's go.
We'll get on next. I'll be sending you a DM in about 10 minutes, dude. Better make it 20.
Okay. Make it
Buster
happen.
is our director. He's our director of media relations.
It's because they don't know what else to call me besides the freaking asshole in the middle.
No, man. Look, Foster's doing a phenomenal job for real.
Yeah, for real, you are, man.
I love the Bears. I've been watching them since I was a little kid. I've seen every game since we drafted Walter Payton, dude.
Bro, come on, man.
And not only that, real quick, my family has been following the Bears that I can guarantee. I believe it's longer, but I can guarantee since 1932.
Really?
So,
Wow.
really, that's honest. And it's probably because my father got into the Bears from his father. Well, he was here in Chicago after World War I. He was in the cavalry, and he moved to Evanston in like 1921. So we're really thinking that we've been following the Bears in this family since they moved to Chicago from Decatur, 1921.
Wow.
I can't prove that though. That's why, but I know for a fact since 32, because my father was blessed. He grew up during the glory days, man. He got to see all the games at Wrigley Field in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s.
Wow.
And he followed them on the radio in the 30s.
That is a blessing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Look at my damn wall.
I see you back there, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Got the ancient archives back there. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I love that big Michael jersey.
I got some new stuff. My sister these are ancient shirts from the 80s.
He'll keep you on it get out of here while you can, Will.
I'm like, Lynn, where the hell is my shirts at? I don't know. I didn't see them. She's going, I didn't see your shirts. I don't know where they're at. So I come in today to the studio, and she goes, oh, open that box.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Oh,
Ooh,
awesome.
I was looking for him to wear them. I'm like, where the hell are they at? She's like, I don't know. And she's like, I was trying not to laugh in your face. But my family's nuts. We have a blast, man. She hops on here all the time. I'm surprised she wasn't on tonight, but thanks again, good. Will. Thank you, man.
Hey, anytime. Keep me posted.
All right, we will. We definitely will, for sure.
All right, y'all have a great evening. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, my friend.
I'll be watching you.
I almost just kicked I almost just left the studio myself, and I was trying to pull them out.
I can take it. I'm a big guy.
Oh man, we're kind of toying around the idea of a New Year's bash show starting somewhere around 11:45 Eastern time or something. I have family in town. My cousin and Steve, who you met, and his wife are in town. So I want to see I want to talk to them tomorrow and see how they feel about that. If it's too much for them, then we probably won't do it. But I think that would be awesome to do like a midnight show kicking in the new year and try to have on as many guests as we've had on the show before. Just come in for, a few minutes and say Happy New Year and all that shit, celebrate with us. So we'll be look out for that, because that might be something that we're looking to do. I think that'd be fun. Don't you, Foster?
Yeah, you guys just keep your notifications on over, coming up here like full in the next, what is it? When's New Year's Eve is Sunday. So that's after the Bears game. And we would normally do our late or our post game show Sunday, but we might be doing this instead. So keep the notifications on Sunday. Check it out if you're up or if you're available and you want to talk some Bears shit and just anything, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking it would be more of just a fun, we could talk some Bears, of course, but it'll just be a fun New Year's, extravaganza show. Anyone who's older like us and not out partying until they have a hangover the next day.
Older like us. Dan's not even 50 yet, man. I don't know about this fucking guy sometimes. Sorry.
My aunt, my mom's sister, FaceTimed me at midnight on Christmas. Well, it would have been the 26th, so
the day,
12 a.m. on the 26th, she's FaceTiming me when I'm laying in bed watching primitive hut building videos to fall asleep to. And I'm like, I'm not answering this. And she goes, I just text you to say, or I just FaceTime you to say happy birthday and Merry Christmas and all that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm in bed. I'm going to sleep. She's like, man, you are getting old.
Yeah, and she's a little bit older than you, but she's got more. I don't know what I'm saying.
She's got to be.
I forgot to pull. Damn it, PJ, you need to be here, dude. I totally dropped the ball on the interrogation.
Yeah, I meant to have you get on that because I wanted to find out a little bit more. I didn't really dive into that. I know we didn't dive into that with him at Aldo's party.
No,
but I wanted to
too much fun just bullshitting.
Yeah, I was looking forward to PJ's interrogation of him. I need to make like a segment for our new guests. Make like a PJ interrogation little opener or something. That'd be fun.
Absolutely, it's a good part. I like that. That's awesome. DVD at 68. I'm doing good to make it to our regular 11 p.m. Thursday night sign offs. That's awesome.
We'll let it go.
Get rest when you need it, brother.
Yeah, he was yawning. We're getting to wrap this up anyway.
Yeah, Will took off. We gotta go through the chat, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, we gotta get through chat.
So Dan, are you at the bottom of the chat?
Yeah.
Good. Start going because I'm like halfway to the top right now. I've been sitting here holding it.
Okay, Zach Sullivan, thanks for joining us. Plank, Mr. Mayhem, Cliff Victoria, Mark Kazak, Mo Bierman, Joe Treviso, Doug Van Dorn. Leonidas. Chicago sports fan, Hair Bear. Sun Taurus, great to see you again.
Sun Taurus.
Who else? There's so many. There was BearsCountryPodcast. Michael Henneman.
Man,
our chat was blowing up tonight, man.
This chat is huge tonight, dude. I thought I was halfway there. Just keep going.
Mark Gauthier, thank you for your super chats tonight. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for keeping the lights on here. Helping too.
STC Scott, Brian Reberg,
Bear Truth,
Zach Sullivan, Mark Kazak, Leo Factor 1,
New Breed.
New Breed was in here. I missed him.
Yeah, he was in
for a quick second.
Damn it.
TB17. Appreciate you guys. I mean, we know that everybody has all of your own opinions, just like we have all of our own opinions. And PJ, great to see you in here. Sorry we miss you, man. Hope you're feeling better. But, that's what... Go ahead.
Brian Reberg, STC Scott.
But that's what opinions are for. That's why we're all allowed to have them. And this is the place to let them out. Respectfully, of course.
Matt Kedro popped in. And what's up, fellas? Big ups to the Will Wright.
Yeah, Will was awesome tonight.
Plank.
Swifty.
Plankster was in here. Swifty. I got PJ, Matt Kedro again. CJ Williams. CJ was on the show a couple weeks ago, man.
Yep.
Always good to see CJ. He's all over the place, man.
Yeah, CJ is awesome.
We
had a shitty connection last time with him.
Yeah.
We lost him a little bit early.
Yeah, we'll work that out. Did you get James Hunter and Ack Adam?
James Hunter, Jay Sanders, Chris Watts.
Yep.
We try to get all you guys. You guys are all awesome. Without you,
Mark.
This is possible, but it's just not fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So thank you guys. And we love hearing your opinions and, hearing your guys's therapy. It's kind of a therapeutic session. Whether you want to get some shit off your chest, you want to complain about somebody, you want to complain about Justin Fields, it's your right to do it.
Here's another person that I asked.
Demand Ice, George Sekalis.
Yes, George and Demand. Yes, definitely. Bears Media Company.
Bears Media Company. Yes,
that's Brent, and I actually invited him on the show because he is full of information. Full of it. Not in a bad way either, dude.
Check out Bearski Films. He's got
Yep.
some great stuff going on over there. So does Bears Media Co. He's got some great stuff going on over there.
Evie Bear Down Davis.
Make sure you check out Walt's new channel too.
Yep. Walt's starting one up. He's got a
Walt's
killer video on there right now, guys.
Fun making videos. Oh, DBB.
Yep.
Ravi. Great to
Ravi
see
come
you.
up.
Joe Treviso. We say that already? Yeah. I think we did.
Doesn't matter. Say it again.
Joe Treviso.
Evie Bear Down Davis. A lot of good
Evie.
comments. I see her she's all over the place, man. She's in a lot of chats.
Yeah, she's awesome. It's nice to see females in Bears chats, you know?
Absolutely. We're supposed to be having one as a guest too.
Yeah. Ashley.
Yes. We'll have to get into that more because she's going to be on here. I went through a bunch more of her stuff. We did say James Hunter. You said DBB. Jay Grizz.
C Sharp. Matt Kudrow was in here.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us from the Nomad Network. Mark's pointing out Nomad has a show tomorrow. I'm sure you guys all know about Nomad's show as well. Check him out. I actually sent them Happy New Year's Day emails or Happy New Year's emails.
Nice.
To everyone over there at Nomad. You guys, I can send them to you too if you guys check your email.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
I saw it was from him and I just deleted it because I thought
I figured you did.
No, I didn't.
No, I know you didn't.
Jay, I didn't look at it. I'm way behind on emails, man. I'm just catching up on text messages.
Retro was in tonight.
And we got to thank Mark Goudier for all the super chats again.
Yes.
Man.
Thank you for your super chats.
That
Mark.
helps a ton, man.
That's awesome. Thank you, man.
And we got to thank Will Wright because it was just great to sit here and listen to him and talk to him about all this shit.
Zach Sullivan.
Yeah, Zach.
I think I already mentioned it, but if I didn't, I apologize.
It doesn't matter. Zach's always got a take on everything. He's always got his view.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all I can't even when I disagree with them, it's a good point, Zach, you son of a gun.
Well, the thing about Zach is he has a different opinion, but he'll talk to you about it at least.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean, and that's why I like it. And then good old Don Burr was in here.
Burr, thanks for hanging out with us.
Burr had to make the appearance. You
Hey.
did mention C Sharp because C Sharp's always around, man.
Matt Hepler.
Matt. I missed that one.
AC Adam.
I said Ack Adam, man. Every time
Ack
Adam.
Yeah.
He's everywhere too, man.
We do appreciate Matt Kudrow and C Sharp hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you guys.
E. DeSalvo.
E. DeSalvo is retro.
Oh, it is right there. He got me, man. Because I don't know if you caught this. I read that and I immediately, because I looked at the camera and I went, "Oh crap!" As soon as I saw that in the middle of the broadcast, I didn't even say anything. I just did it. He's got to stop doing that. He's messing me up.
He came in here as retro or as on both of his accounts.
Media, blah blah blah, whatever media it was for him.
I think that's everybody.
And here's a new one. I didn't see this one before. Retro's comedy clips.
Oops, wrong account. I do it. I don't like to go into people's chats as Bears Country Podcast. So sometimes I just start talking in chat as Bears Country Podcast. I'm like, shit.
Oh, guys, good show, man.
I think that's everybody. If we missed you, I apologize. STC Scott, did we get you?
Yes.
Yeah. If we missed you, we apologize. That means you're not here anyway to see it because it was so long ago.
This chat is just, man, I can't. Every week, I think it keeps getting longer every week, dude. I'm not kidding you.
Well, we broke the record, guys. We had like 54 people in here at one point.
Yeah.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm just terrible. I just don't. I just want to make sure that everybody gets their name in and everybody gets as many people as possible get their stuff on the board and you know.
C Sharp's laughing over there. He's like, only 54.
I'll take more.
Oh, Did you guys ever answer this question? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of did. That's why I didn't post it up.
I know I'm joking around, man, because we probably answered it 10 times tonight. And then Chris Watts, because
I said Hair Bear, didn't I?
no, we
You
probably
might have.
missed Hair Bear. I just saw him at the end. I didn't see him till later. So Hair Bear,
I thought you were one of the first names I said. I apologize, Hair Bear.
we do apologize, man, because Hair Bear's been with us forever, dude.
Mark, I'm not doing the Falcons game is a no, but we are doing Lester and I are doing the Packers game on PSF. And after that, I'm not sure what's going on with how much longer PSF will be going on for us, but you guys definitely need to check that out if you haven't yet. The PSF Pro Sports Fans app, mobile app. Go find the Bears fans chat room, and it's just like an ongoing chat. It's pretty cool. You can spit out all your opinions. Leonidas, you can go in there and shit on Justin Fields to your heart's content.
Chris asked this question because I was up. It was 6:30 in the morning when I tore the tendon off my bone. I was going to work, dude. I was in my car on my way to work in Chicago, which I hate. And as a matter of fact, about 2 months after that, I've never worked in the city of Chicago again. Too much of a pain in the ass, man. It ain't worth the money, the aggravation, and the drive time.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't worth it, dude.
I hear you, man.
So, I don't know if there's anything else we missed.
If there is not,
everybody in. What?
If there is not, if we missed something, then if we missed anybody in chat, we apologize for one thing, because we try to get all you guys.
Does anybody got all the way down to the bottom, the last 6 or 8 comments? I'm just curious because I'm not there.
Yep, I'm there.
Okay. When I was looking at stuff, 6 or 8 comments popped up. I just want to make sure. In the huddle, Chicago CB Sickle.
Yeah.
That's Walt.
Yeah, go check out Walt's page. He put out an awesome Justin Fields video.
Really crisp video, nice header, everything on it, man. Keep it up.
It was better, man. I had to cut down some because of copyright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that. I was playing those clips last week. I was playing the clips of Justin Fields when he threw that the Hail Mary and got slammed.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Copyright issues. It's like, wow.
That was everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
That was on all over Twitter. I got it. I put it up even, dude. I didn't get no copyright shit on Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't think Twitter's really gonna nail you with anything.
But you can be monetized on Twitter, which is bullshit. If it's copyright's a copyright, right?
You would think. I always try and keep things under 8 seconds, and that one was like 16.
Yeah, I was shocked. That's what I was doing the same thing, but I guess it doesn't work that way. That's why I just try to keep to the all 22 now, because there's definitely no issues with that. So
I just clicked on Steve by accident, dude. So I don't know where it's at.
Here,
let's go back to the bottom is all I'm saying, because I'm nowhere near the bottom, dude. This is long, man. This is long.
Yeah, I know. It's a 3-hour show to go through. So, but we want to wish you guys, everyone in chat. First off, thank you very much for joining us. Make sure that you tell your friends, like and subscribe, set your notifications, because we might be doing a New Year's Eve show. So look out for that. That would be our last and first show, our last show of 23 and our first show of 24 at the same time, man. That's why I think it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to have, Swifty come on for a few minutes, and have like New Breed if wants to come on for a few minutes.
Get everybody on here.
Everybody. Brian Reberg said he might come on for a few minutes. Chips Ahoy Boy said he would.
Because before we go, Cliff's asking this question.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we should do that, huh?
I just got to it because I forgot to ask Will. Go ahead, Dan. You're first. Says your name.
All right. So this is it's Atlanta in Chicago. It's not as cold as Chicago, but it's a lot colder there than you think. So, but they are indoors. I think the Bears are going to win this game. And it's just this is what's gonna happen. Everything's gonna happen on this left page here. The Bears are gonna win, the Giants are gonna win, the Buccaneers are gonna win, the Steelers are gonna win, and the Vikings are gonna win. And then we're gonna go into that final week with only needing us to beat the Packers and the Cardinals to win, the Niners to win. And we're gonna lose to the fucking Packers, and the Cardinals and the 49ers are gonna both win. That's what's gonna happen. And then I am going to flip my lid when we lose to the Packers again in another big game like that. I'm going to flip my fucking lid. I can just feel it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it to myself right now. I'll wait till it happens. I don't want to stress myself out over something that hasn't happened yet. But, God, I hate Green Bay.
My problem there, Dan, is that Rams game right off the bat. I just don't see the Giants winning that game.
Well,
Rams are way better than their record, but you never know.
The thing that we have going in our favor is most of those are home games, except for the Steelers.
I understand that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, and yeah, go Jacksonville. We want Jacksonville to beat the Panthers.
They should.
Steve said Fields is getting 4 touchdowns Sunday, man. Holy crap.
That'd be nice.
That would be a treat.
It's going to piss some people off if 2 of them are rushing touchdowns, though.
I know. How about it? What if he threw for 300 yards and scored 4 rushing touchdowns? Boy, this guy stinks. He can't throw a touchdown pass.
Right.
The doctor will see you now, Shorty, Zach Sullivan says.
It's going to be fun to root for the Giants and the Buccaneers and the Steelers and the Vikings this weekend. I know that much.
Well, I would be more than happy to let this thing grow another damn week. I mean, it's starting to be a pain in the ass, guys, but until they're out.
It looks like it's a pain in the ass.
Until they're, I mean, Jesus Christ. I wish I had it on my head. I wouldn't be bald.
Why don't you just trim it up just a little bit? You know, at least
glue it on.
At least edge it.
Yeah, just trim it and glue it.
I've been gonna do that for like 3 weeks, and all I've done is trim the stash a couple times, and it just grows so fast. And then I got all this other crap I'm going on, and then I'm outside, and boy, is this nice to have outside in this weather, man. It really is. It's not terribly cold, but I'm not. My face and my head used to be so cold all the time with just the mustache or the horseshoe. Not at all now, man. I could stay out there all day as long as I got some gloves and socks on.
DVD's asking what the weather is going to be like in Chicago. It's right now 34.
Jordy's putting his prediction off. He's trying to figure it out there on his calculator.
Oh, my actual prediction? I'm going to go 28 14 Bears.
Ooh.
Yeah. It'll be 34 degrees this weekend in Chicago.
So it's 34 degrees. The Bears are +3 in this game against Atlanta. The over-under is 38. I think they're going to go over, and the Bears are going to win 27-17.
Okay.
That's following my credo of 26, 27, 8 points a game, and we keep the opposing team under 20 because the defense is capable of doing it.
What do you guys say in chat? What do you guys in chat say? What's the score? What's your
score? 1 point off.
And what did I say? 28-14?
Yeah, and I was going to say 28-17, but I changed it to 27 because you said 28. I swear to God. So, Cliff, we were actually dead on, dude.
Nice.
Two old fucks. Two old gen fucks thinking the same is terrible. Nah, not at all.
Doug saying 35-24 Bears.
We can't give that many up in my book, Doug, but I'll take it.
17-14, close score for Mark.
Mark's going for that defensive struggle, and he might be right.
24-17. Mayhem.
Mr. Mayhem. 69. I love Mayhem 69, and not personally you, Mayhem. Just the fact of Mayhem and the number 69. That's another reason I got to shave this thing, man.
35-14. New Breed's giving us a win, 31-27.
31-27.
Plank.
And Steve, while you're on there, give me your prediction for that Lions game this week.
Who are the Lions playing? Oh, they're playing
Dallas.
Oh, that's
Cowboys.
right.
I got the Lions squeaking that one out. I got a gut feeling that I really think they're going to lose, but something just is telling me that Dallas is going to pull some of the Dallas crap they've pulled this year. And that will open the door for the Lions to take that game.
Cliff saying the Bears have the number one run D in the league. Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. What is so between the running game and so they're 12th overall in defense?
Yes, on defense. I couldn't find it. I was looking all over for it, and I think I ended up seeing it on Bears Media Co. And I thought it was through CBS, but I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Because he said they were ranked 12th defensively too. And I saw that and went, wow, cool.
New Breed's thinking 41-31 Lions.
Beating them cowgirls.
Thanks, I can see the Lions beating them.
If they're on their game like they should be after what's happened in the last few weeks, they could. I mean, they should be able to win.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's in Dulles. I lived in Dulles myself.
Dulles. Their traffic system, like their roads are a nightmare. We drove through it. God, that was we were in a 26
to drive around it.
We had a 26-foot moving truck pulling a trailer with a car on it, and it was like white knuckled chaos. I don't know how it was. It was terrible.
Cliff, I know Dallas plays much, much better at home.
Mm-hmm.
Much better at home. They're just unbelievably bad on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why the other reason I'm like they're due to lose there.
Yeah. Mark's saying I'd love the Lions to win, but I don't think they will. I don't know. I think they have the best chance they've had in a while. I'll give them that much.
That's for damn straight.
I would like to see them beat. They're my second least liked team in the league. It's the Cowgirls.
Oh, they're my 1B. It's the Packers 1A. Cowboys 1B. I've hated them since I was a little fucking kid. Just can't stand them.
Well, if you head out to a Lions Bears game next year, New Breed, let us know. Maybe we'll align those games.
Steve, absolutely let me know, dude.
Yeah.
Let me know, Steve, when you're doing that, and then I'll save you a lot of aggravation too. Because we'll just hang out.
And there were a ton of Lions fans there too this year.
Oh, I bet. You know, this is their moment.
They've got something to travel about, Walt.
Well, I mean, I also do question how many of those are actually Bears fans until the Lions actually started doing good these last couple seasons and just traded jerseys.
Conspiracy, Walt. I'm joking around, dude.
I think we talked last night, New Breed, about you joining us Sunday if we do a show, a late night show, midnight show. So if we do, I'll shoot you an email, and plus Foster, you have his number, right, Foster?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, I think that's a wrap. We're going on 3.5 hours.
We need Walt
right on the dot. That'd be interesting.
I'll give you a prediction. It says 31-14 Bears.
31-14.
31-14 Bears from Walt, the producer, Tickles.
Excellent. Well, we will reach out to you if we get this lined up, New Breed.
Absolutely, Steve. And I do apologize about a couple weeks back, dude. But we will do that. Did you see the logo he made for the shows when we were supposed to do the podcast?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Did you see that? So make sure you save that logo, that thing, that header, Steve, because that was great. Where it was half you guys and half PCP. Save that.
Yeah,
We'll use that. We still got to do that show with all of us, man.
Yeah, I apologize myself for not making that because it was I thought we were doing it much earlier and then it got to be too late and by then I was already down for the count. So we definitely have to make that happen. There is we have Aldo coming on next Thursday. He's our guest next Thursday. And I fucked that up because there's a Packer fan that wants to come on the show with us for the to do a preview of the next week's game. A really nice guy from PSF that made friends with. I can't believe I'm saying that. He's a Packer fan, but he's a really nice guy.
Yep.
Very much
Solid,
like you, Steve, new breed. So I thought about that, but now I have to figure that out because we're having Aldo on, so I can't. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cancel out on
And
Aldo.
then
I'm looking forward to having him on.
Aldo's on the 4th.
Yeah.
On the 11th is Joe Mandel.
Okay, that's the following week.
And then what's her name is on the 18th?
I'm not sure yet.
I can't remember. Okay, that's right. Right. We were waiting on her. I apologize. And I'm sorry for saying what's her name because I just can't remember. Trish?
Ashley.
Ashley.
Interesting story about that. She quit some media company because of what's the right word?
It's
Des
on
Bryant.
Twitter, man. If you go look at my account, both of her 2 or 3 of her stories are on my Twitter page right now. I put them up again tonight.
So she's starting a thing. Football is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It had to do with like women not having any place in the NFL, and it's a man's sport, and I think she's a fantasy football guru.
She is, and she knows
caught shit from like Des Bryant, who like works with her.
Yeah, one of her here. We'll let her tell you guys all this stuff. It's something you got to catch, man.
Yeah.
It's a different take on what happens around this country regarding NFL football, and you've seen it, but we'll let her lay the whole thing out. You want to get more information on it? Like I said, if you're on Twitter, I have them all posted 2 days, so they're near the top of my page.
Mm-hmm.
2 scoops on the show.
I was on,
and he and Braggs a show a few years back. Thanks, Zach. Always a pleasure.
Is that
2 scoops?
Is that for a guest you're saying, Zach? I was on he and Bragg's show a few years back. Oh yeah, I guess he's talking about. Never heard of him.
Who? Will and Braggs? Never heard of him?
No, 2 scoops.
Oh, got you.
Is that the name of somebody?
I'm gonna have to look that up because I think I've seen that. But I could just be hungry for ice cream now too.
Ice cream. Yeah, I agree, Cliff.
Damn it, Zach! I'm gonna have to get some ice cream, dude.
There's no reason why a woman can't be a referee. That's for damn sure.
Joey 2 scoops.
Joey 2 scoops. Oh, okay.
Joe Mandel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Joey 2 scoops.
He's on the 11th.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
We will be having the. We're gonna get the South Burbs Hitmen on here again too sometime after the season. They're gonna be on.
Yeah. They were a lot of fun. Can't wait to have all 3 of them back on again.
Absolutely, man. We might even do them individually too because we've got plenty of weeks to fill.
Yeah. Yeah, and plenty of downtime.
Yep.
All right, well, let's wrap this shit up. And if we don't see you this for a New Year's Eve show, then Happy New Year to you all. Please be safe. Drink responsibly if that's what you're going to do. Make sure you get an Uber if you're going out to a party. Be responsible.
And if you're going to bet, Jordy,
make sure you bet responsibly.
With
BetUS. If you do bet, use the link that's in the description of the show and help out the channel.
Shameful plug, dude.
Shameful plug. Don't leave that shit on the ground. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. That's what we need to do with the show. Wrap it up. I'll take it.
All right.
Wrap it up. Shorty will break it.
All right. Happy New Year to you all. If we don't see you this Sunday, like I said, be safe. And if not, we will see you next week after another Bears win, the second 2 in a row for the coach. So wrap this up on a 1, 2, 3 Bears. 1, 2, 3
Bears.